to the bigger play where the rubber meets the road, and we'll get straight to it. What do vows really mean? What do they really mean? We talked about it the other day. Went in depth detail like how we do. And the reason I asked the question is because so many people nowadays get married. However, the divorce rate is high, and over 70% of women file for divorce. So if you're taking vows to death do us part, for better or for worse, through sickness and in health, for rich or for poor, what do they really mean if you take them, but you end the divorce for whatever reason you deem you end? What do the vows really mean? So we talked about it all night long the other night, and I'm gonna bring it to you. And because these topics are very intricate, very delicate, I want to be able to listen to those that's speaking on their behalf and accept their insight, and then give a small, minute point of view from my end, a perspective. Because I want to know, what do vows really mean? Up and down, all around the world. What do they really mean? Because from where I sit, people will walk away just like that. Like they never even took a vow. Make it make sense.
Every couple's worst nightmare.
At this time, if there is anyone who knows any just cause why these two should not be lawfully joined together, let them speak now or forever hold their peace.
I have something to say. I have known Adria since I was 11 years old. We've been through a lot together. I think there's only one person that deserves to call her his wife. The only person I've known to treat her properly. Treat her like the woman she deserves to be treated. That man is my brother Jalil.
Not funny at all. It's good for a laugh, but it wasn't funny. But why is it that that's even allowed? I'm just asking the question. I have my reasons. We talk about it. But why is it? Makes no sense. I need you to make that make sense right now. Make that make sense. That's the question. You're not going to be able to do it. Somebody's sitting over there with malice intentions. Not a joke like that. But the reality is this person has a... What? What? What do vows really mean? She said it, I did.
If a man offers to take you on a vacation or a trip and you do not plan on sleeping with this man, do not hop on that plane. Do not waste that man's time and money. And then y'all got the nerve to be like, just because I hop on a flight don't mean I'm entitled to sleep with him. That's true, but pay for your own fucking flight, you fucking bum. Why do you need him to pay for shit if that's how you want to move? Like, feel me? Like, that shit don't make sense. I don't ever have a man pay for my flight unless I'm landing on that dick. Are you crazy?
What? Unless you what? She said, I'm not taking that flight unless I'm landing on that joint. Is that what she said? I have nothing else to say, but she is absolutely stunning and amazing. That's it. And without no further ado, let's get to it. Hello, how you doing, Miss KGR? You
I'm
go.
well. How are you?
Okay, you gonna jump on?
Yeah, I was just going to say, what do vows really mean?
Uh-oh, here we go.
Vows
Come on.
are a contractual agreement. They're an agreement that you make with another person stating that this is what you plan to do and they need to hold up their end of the bargain too. So it's basically a contractual agreement. And that's what I look at it as.
Okay, so I I received that. Well, what else? The reason I asked, I wanted to allow people to speak on it, but what I see is me and you I propose to you, we get married, we walk down the aisle, we take these vows. In 7 years, things go wrong, we walk away. So what do vows really mean?
But that's a contract, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so contracts have a beginning and end date, correct?
Well, in these vows, they say to death do us part, which
unless
supersedes.
unless you don't meet the obligation that you stated within said vows.
Okay, so watch this. One of those vows say for better or worse, but it never stipulate what's worse.
So what is worse? Okay, and then there are certain things like I know when I married my husband, my uncle put into our vows to love, honor, cherish, to for fidelity, honesty, honor, to represent what you state. Those were our vows.
Oh, so you didn't do for better or for worse.
We did do better and for better for worse. And that's primarily for us when we stated all the rest of those things. Did you not?
Got you.
I said for fidelity.
I got you. But
So for better or for worse is not, oh, you put your hands on me. Oh, you harm me. Hi, how are you doing? Um, you don't do anything like that. That's not for better or for worse. For better or for worse is, hey, we hit a hard, financial situation.
so you
That's
no, what I'm asking you, so you stipulating what worse is. You don't know.
Yeah, we did put stipulations for worse. That's why we have a prenup. So we did stipulate certain things.
But in general, taking it away from your anecdotal experience, most people don't do that.
I know, and that's my problem with it because marriage is never supposed to be like when people say for worse, there is a boundary set, in my
Okay,
opinion.
okay, in your opinion, but let's talk about what we know. What you think that really means?
So if I'm going by like my grandparents, for better or for worse would be like for better is I treat you like a human being. For worse is that I put my hands on you, like say something like that. Or I keep you from living your best life. Or I don't, participate in the household.
That's
Uh,
worse.
that is worse, not participating in the household. When you got 14 effing kids or 18 effing kids,
Well, if
nigga,
we get married at 20 years old and I change at 30, that don't mean we supposed to walk away if we took these vows. Because worse, I listened to Michelle Obama, right? She did an interview and
and
she's
she,
very adamant. Okay, you must know where I'm going. You saying
yeah,
this?
no, I understand that there can be times where it's bad. Now that I understand,
But
where where you're just not connecting. However, the difference that I look at is for better or for worse was primarily for, and I don't mean to sound classist or assist, that's for a lot of poor women. And they say that shit.
but see, I'm not gonna say that that's true. That's funny, but I don't think
Let
that's
me
true.
interrupt right quick, big
Uh-huh.
bro.
Now, come on,
Let
bro.
me
We
let
being
me
honest. We
interrupt
just getting
right.
it. We just getting it.
This
Come
is
on.
where I need to come in because the question, what do vows really mean? First of all, what vows? The mankind's vows in America and on this planet, his
Yeah,
vows.
yeah.
You talking about the same vows when the woman and the man both can say all those good things that y'all just said in the vows and then turn back around and take half of everything when you only it was only for 2 or 3 years and you ain't built nothing what he built.
That's
Same
not
thing,
actually
vice
how it
versa.
works.
Same thing, vice versa. If she had the money, you talking about those vows. Oh, you talking about the vows where he lost his job and couldn't get on his feet in 6 months, but he took care of you and your 2, 3 stepchildren, whatever, whatnot, and you left because your degree kicked in and you landed the job, and now you making more money than he ever done made, and you left because you couldn't reconcile your difference. You talking about them Vows?
Okay, brother. I like
First,
it. Now let's let the young lady speak.
I'm not finished yet because I let y'all cook. Let me cook my pot. I got another pot to stir. Thank
Okay,
you.
hold on 1 second. Hold on, KGI Psalms. You had cammed up. I appreciate the cam up, but then you went back away. You wanna hold on 1 second, somebody. Hold on, bro. Hold on. We're gonna
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Take care of your business.
now we trying to get I was trying to let
When it comes to that, first and foremost, most of the time when people get married, just so you know,
Hold on,
majority of the
sis.
time
Hold
when
on,
they get
sis.
married, they don't have
Hold on,
let
sis.
her
Let
go,
him
bro,
do
and
his
then we
thing because
bring
I'm
you
not
back.
done yet. Allow me to finish completely, but let him do what he need to do.
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead, brother. And
Okay.
sister, don't leave. We're gonna let her
So I'm
speak.
done with that side. I'm done with that part. I think I got my point across
And
on
then
that part.
try to land, bro, so we gonna have people coming on in. So come on, bro.
Tenfold. Or are we talking about the vows up under God with the covenant with God, man, and woman and child? Are we talking about those vows? Are we talking about the vows that's up under God that's made by duty and not what you feel? Or you felt in love, madly in love? I was your Michael Jackson today, but now I'm Flavor Flav. Oh, okay. You talking about the vows where when no matter what happens, as long as I ain't cheat on you or nothing like that, you stand with me based on your duty, and I'm staying with you based on the duty and not what we feel. If we're talking about those vows, it means a lot. But if you're talking
okay,
about the
what is
vows
this
up under
deal?
mankind, excuse me, ma'am. If we're talking, and I'm landing, sir. If we're talking about the vows under mankind, it don't mean a MF thing.
Okay, that's interesting because you said the vows under God. So who interpreted those vows and those responsibilities? It was mankind. So I've actually completely decimated your own point. Now,
Here
if
we
we're
go with
going
the
to talk,
shame and sort of guilt and the need to be
no,
right.
no, no, no. We're
Hold
guilt.
on.
I already get it.
Let's try to do intervals. Go ahead, young lady. How you
Okay.
doing, Capri? We're gonna let you and Melanin in 2 seconds after the young lady get to speak. How you doing, brother?
Yeah. So when we're talking about vows, and you're saying, "Oh, feelings," and it doesn't. No, those things actually do matter because if a woman can get it out the mud, if you are on hard times, and she steps up, you are not allowed to denigrate her and diminish her because you are failing at your responsibility. When it comes to marriage, and I come from a long line of people who have been married for years. My parents have been married for 45 years. As of the June 1st, 45 years. It wasn't always easy. My dad went through, like, we had a lawsuit. They tried to steal our land. I don't think y'all understand when it comes to land. My family has had this land in our family for over 120 years. This is our land. We fought, bled, and unalive for this shit. They tried to take it. It decimated, it emptied my father's trust fund. Okay. So my parents went from having a ton to not having nearly as much. So my mother didn't leave. No, my mother was like, nah, we gonna keep fighting this MFer because they ain't taking our shit. When she made that vow to my father, it was the worst was them coming after our land, our home, our birthrights. But it wasn't staying with my father if he was just like, well, I'm out of a job. Woe is me. Wah, wah, wah. First off, no man worth the salt is going to ever sit on his ass and let his woman do while he don't. My father taught me that. Any man who would ask you to have 2 jobs and he don't have 3 ain't worth shit. And you don't never put up with no man who ain't putting up before he asks you to do anything. On top of it, you have to add into the fact that any woman is not supposed to struggle. My father has always been against struggle love because struggle is actually forcing her into a position she's not supposed to be in. If you are a man and you are the provider protector, as you all claim, then why on earth are you expecting the woman in your life to assume that position because you don't want to get off your ass? That is you
Sign
violating
on it,
said
sir.
covenant.
But she's
That is
talking
a
to me.
violation of the covenant, because the covenant says in marriage, a man is providing cover or coverture, which means he is insulating her against harm. If he is the perpetuator of said harm, and he is also not providing, then guess what? That bond is broken, and you have broken the covenant with God, my dude. Don't ever come after a preacher's niece who been a preacher's niece 7 times over, my dude. I was raised in the church. You ain't never going to get me to talk about that. And you can't talk about God if you ain't standing on business and doing what a man's supposed to do. And I'm going to land that.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, please don't talk to me like you know me because you know nothing about me, Miss Preacher Niece.
No,
Second of all,
hold
that
on.
does that.
We ain't
Wait a
gotta be
minute, sir.
personal. We just can
I'm
keep
not being
it
personal.
right.
I'm not being personal. I'm giving the same energy that was given to me. So let's be fair. She just told me, my
But we
dude,
gotta
I'm not your
okay, we
dude.
got other people in the room. What we want to do
But
is
I
try to
know that,
we
sir,
want
and
to make
that's
sure
why
we
I'm
move the
dressing it.
conversation.
Well, let me say
Okay,
it with a nice tone, okay,
I
brother.
got
But
you.
let
I
me just
got you.
say this. I don't want no woman calling me your dude. I'm not your dude. I got a wife. I'm in the bed with my wife right now. Okay, she's sleeping good like a baby. So don't call me your dude. I'm not your dude. I don't care about your status with a preacher wife. There's preachers out here, they ain't doing nothing. They just like TD Jakes and them. They got all this money, but you can't feed the poor. So I don't give you all that. That don't mean nothing to me. And secondly, the information you got was from a slave. How did you know you was a Christian until they told you about it? Because you couldn't read for 300 years. So don't even get me started on that. Now let me come on back to this prompt that he got up there, because you done went all off of base with the shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right, saying BS talking points that most 85% of you talk and say the same thing. I don't care what city you from. I don't care what state you from. Y'all sound the same. The only difference is your weight, your height, your skin tone, and different eyelashes and lace fronts that you wear. That's the only difference. But you sound the same, because that's not what he asks. He asks, what does it mean? And I'm telling you and anybody in the world, especially if you my age, 51 years old, if you married up under mankind, the white man, the rulers of the world, vows, you don't have nothing, especially a man. Because the brother, big player, all the money that he didn't work for and any other man in his position. You can't tell me you get married up under those vows, you comfortable and like my wife sleeping in his bed like a baby. Come on, man. Stop the cap. Any woman, I'm not finished, please. Y'all just let this woman speak, and you did not interrupt her. So don't get all bent out of shape and in your feelings because my voice is fluctuated. Let me cook, please. Thank you. I would say the same thing for a woman. There's no woman in her right state of mind, knowing the climate and the temperature of America and the court just in the Department of Justice do want to be done like Mary J. Blige and Halle Berry. Stop. Don't tell me that you going by those vows. You're not going by those vows. You going by that contract that you just said, sister. It's a contract. When you dealing with God, the only contract you got is your duty. He don't care if he lost the job and you mad because it's taking him a long time to get a job. And yes, you supposed to get your behind up and cook me a plate and treat me like a king like day one. Because you a help meet. MEET, not help mate. You a help me to meet me, to help me meet my goal. That was your purpose and reason for being even created, from the same essence that I was created. Everything had a mate except for us. We was the last one without a mate, and he made you for me. The man order up to God is when the man is in his right state of mind and he's doing everything he's supposed to do. Like brothers on this panel, like big brother, brother, bigger player. He doing what he's supposed to do. He on his purpose. He's on his job. So God is going to bless him and allow him, and his energy is right. So he's going to attract a certain kind of woman that's going to just automatically by default give him that cooperation, because that's all really submissiveness means. It just means cooperate. It don't mean that you got a chain on your body or whatever. If you can't say or say what you want to say, or we don't validate your mind or your spirit, because the
Slave,
key
submit to
for
your
a man to
master.
become a man, the key for a man to, in order for a man to come to his fullness of his manhood, is through the woman. So if you're going by the vows of under God, it means a lot. And it don't matter what religion you from, because those vows and that way of life is different. We live in a democracy. We don't live in a theocracy. A democracy has come from the Latin word demos, gracie, which is devil's rule. So you up under that rule. You're not up under God rule like the Ten Commandments, restrictive laws. Don't matter what religion you're from. So the only good religion is treat those the way you want to be treated, including your spouse in our land.
Okay, so the actual proverb from Africa states treat people as they wish to be treated, not treat them how you want to be treated. So you
Always trying to correct a grown
and
man
if you're
like a
going to
child.
actually
Okay,
talk
man.
about
You
God,
got
why
the
are you
sentiment though.
utilizing
Stop
Christianity?
being funny.
If you
You
are going
understand
to
what I
sit
meant.
there and utilize Christianity, you don't get to negate it, because that's exactly what you did. I've never claimed to be a Christian. I said I was raised in the church. That don't mean I'm a Christian, my dude. I don't believe in none of that shit. And I think it's funny that you're trying to utilize religion as a justification for your behavior. At the same time, how are you an effing king when you have no kingdom? If you have no money, if you are not providing for anybody who's underneath of your cover, which is what kings are supposed to do, which is what the rule of coverture means. A woman is covered. So I'm talking about historical precedents, and you are talking about some BS you saw on YouTube. That is the difference. Now, when we are talking about what vows mean, I said it's a contractual agreement. Marriage is a contract. Marriage is a goddamn business. And I mean that with every fiber of my being. And I don't understand anybody who doesn't understand that marriage is a contract, because you are contracting yourself to another person for the rest of your life or until you guys decide to dissipate. And that is what matters. So before you keep talking all this plum, just pseudo intellectualism and talking about, oh, lace front and blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? You can't afford the lace front. So what are you providing, my dude? You are not upholding your position
A
at
beautiful home in Ocala. I drive a Benz. I take care
I
of
don't
all
want
the
to hear.
bills.
I don't
My
want to
woman
hear
ain't
none
got
of
to
your
worry
shit. I
about
don't want to
nothing.
hear shit.
No, since you want to
I
get
don't
on
want to
here and
hear that.
clown
No,
me.
no, no. But
Wait a
that is my
minute. Wait a
point.
minute.
Why are you
You
trying to
came on here to try
personalize
to clown
something?
me and tell me I'm
I
not a
did
king.
not. Kepri, was I talking?
Hold on, guys. We want to allow other people to get in. I know you guys want to engage, but that can take a process and take up some time. So I want to allow the other people to speak so we can have a general conversation so everybody can get involved. Go ahead, Miss Capri. Nah, y'all good. You muted. We can't hear you. You muted.
Let her
We
know.
can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you.
She's claiming that I'm not a
We
king
gonna
of
we
my
gonna let
home.
you get we
Okay.
gonna let you get in, Kareem. We're gonna let you get back.
Okay.
Brother Capri, we
All right, go
can't hear
ahead.
you.
Let somebody so somebody else can take the mic. I'm not gonna
Brother.
keep going back and forth, because that's what the devil want us to do, to keep going back with this foolishness.
Right,
Go ahead.
right.
Somebody else can say something, man.
But y'all
I'm
good. If we
good.
had
I'll
time,
listen.
we're gonna put everything together. Go ahead, brother. We can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you can hear me. Okay, what I wanted to say is, first of all, let me give my qualifications. First of all, I have a PhD in theology. I also am a lawyer. I have a JD, a Juris Doctor, and so everything that I've been working about law. Everything is about that I've written in my career has been about laws and this, that, and the other thing, and covenants and all of that kind of stuff. And the difference, in my opinion, I'm just going to leave it at this. I don't want to argue with nobody, but this is my opinion. Ain't got nothing to do with how y'all feel or your religion or anything like that. But the difference between a contract and a covenant is that a contract can be voidable, void, or it can just be breached or just unfulfilled. That's a contract. A covenant, or those type of vows and all that kind of stuff, those are spiritual commitments. It's just like if you get up every day and you say in the mirror, you look in the mirror and say, look, I love me. I love me. You're making a contract with the universe every day by affirming your love. That's all it is. And what you're doing is you're going to the universe and you're saying, look, I love this person. I will do whatever I got to do. And all the vows, everybody does not take the same vows. Like, and that's why we started in the church years ago, like having people write their own vows. Because you don't want to say something before God and before everybody else. And then all of a sudden, you just like, I'm out. I don't, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm doing what I want to do. and then I'm just going to leave my family, my wife, everything else. So when you think about it, you got to look at that as being, look, you're taking a vow, and even the scriptures say, and I'm not a Christian, I have nothing to do with Christianity at all, but I have read the Bible extensively. And the only thing that it says in the Bible about vows is that if you take a vow, keep it. That's it. Period. Keep your vow. If not, then don't take it. Ain't nobody forcing you to hook up with nobody or do nothing with nobody. And for all y'all women out there that's trying to make these men change, and I'm gonna get him, and then I'm gonna wrap him up, and I'm gonna do this and do that, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
Exactly.
And your coochie ain't gonna keep him neither. It ain't gonna do nothing. Look, because there's 15 other girls right now, right down the street, that's gonna be able to stab you in the back. Don't care. And y'all always talk about men cheating and all that kind of stuff. Nah, women. Look, I've been a pastor for years. Women do most of the cheating. All right, whether y'all know it or not, women are the ones, because y'all could get away with it. Because men gonna come up, like a man that's gonna cheat with you, he'll hook you up. Look, she getting ready to hook me up. So wait, I will pull up, like my man said, I'm gonna pull up in the Benz, my wife at home, but I'm gonna pull up in the Benz, I'm gonna pull up, do whatever I gotta do, and then I'm out. And you don't care that this man got a wife. If I tell you, oh, I'm married, look, I got women every day. I tell them, look, I'm married. Dude, I got 2 ex-wives and all that stuff.
Brother.
Huh?
We appreciate you, man. We're gonna let the next person talk.
Yeah, I'm out. Thank you.
Nah, you can stay here. We're gonna move people around.
I gotta go, man. I'm at work, so I gotta go.
All right.
All right,
we appreciate you, brother.
All right, please.
Go ahead, Melanie. Go ahead, sister.
I enjoyed what Capri said. It's kind of hard to follow up behind that, but I don't want to take up the air in the room because I basically agree with a lot of what he said. So I'm going to let somebody else speak and listen for a moment.
Appreciate you, sister. Go ahead, Thriver.
I was with Capri for a second there until he got to the cheating part. I did like.
Wait, what's wrong? Hold on. What's wrong with the cheating part? What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with it. I just was wondering where did it
Basically
come
speaking, men cheat at 21%, women cheat at about 12%. So there is a difference.
That's not what we were talking about, King.
Go ahead, Thriver. Go ahead.
All right. So, anyways, gosh, now just my brain just got fried.
You want me to bring it back to you, or you got it?
Let me just go to the prompt. What do vows really mean? Here's the thing. People just, for the most part, people get caught up on the theatrics of getting married, the dress, the ring. I mean, I see videos on here, the man is getting on his knee and the girl, she's freaking out, and, the bachelorette parties and bridal showers and all this stuff. And then when it comes to that time to make vows, I mean, who in the right mind stands there and say, I will love you forever, knowing our nature? Right? And also say, till we are alive. Huh? Right? I think we are really signing up for things we don't even know we're signing up for. I think the whole marriage institution needs to be redone. Okay, I really do. Because what we're doing, it doesn't even make sense anymore. So, host, let me ask you a question, right? You seem like, a man of good sense. If I came to you and I say, listen, host, I have this investment for you, and I would like for you to invest in. And you ask, okay, what's my rate of return? And I say, well, guess what? 40% of your investment is 40% chance that your investment is going to fail the first time. And if you invest in here again, guess what? 60% of your investment will fail. What are you going to do? Will you invest in that?
Yeah, I'm a risk taker. I ain't gonna touch it.
No, so clearly this whole marriage institution thing is not working yet. We're still investing in it. Those are failure rates. So something needs to be done here to where we give it a better chance to succeed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what would that look like? first of all, we need to understand that marriage, it's not just this love, I'm in love and I have butterflies in the stomach. That's not what marriage is. Marriage is an arrangement where families come together to strengthen their legacy and their power and to produce healthy children.
Thank you.
Okay? It has nothing to do with these Hallmark movies and stuff. Secondly, before people get married and get that certificate, if they want to go the certificate route, they really need to read the contract at the courthouse, at the county house, of what that contract is and what they're signing up for. Nobody has read that thing. It's there, but they don't read it. So they're getting a certificate, but they don't know what they're signing up for. And you wonder why it's failing. And they should be actually asked to read it and take classes on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
We're, what is the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing and expecting different results. Let's do better, and I'll end there.
All right, thank you, Thriving. Porcelain, if you want to speak, go ahead. We're moving around the room. Go ahead, Porcelain. Welcome to the room. Okay, all right.
Hey, thank you for having me. So what vows mean to me is just, if from a spiritual standpoint, it means honoring, God within your relationship. And if you keep God in the forefront of it, everything should run smoothly in your relationship. What vows mean to society, I think people get into relationships with men. They don't have the right motive when they align their self up with certain men. They may be pretentious women. They may be gold diggers. They may want a man for his money. And so if their motives are not correct, they're going to have a lot of friction in their relationship, because God is not the God of confusion. So if I'm just with this guy because he's a millionaire, or because he had a nice car, or he has businesses, but I'm not really judging his character, seeing how he treats his family, seeing how he treats his mother, seeing how he's with his kids, if he already has children, then I have to, check my motives of why I want to be aligned with this person. That's it. That's simple.
Appreciate you. Come on in, Sarge. Talk to us.
Okay, when it comes to vows, I'm a firm believer in, you keep your word. That's what I think vows ultimately boil down to. But as of now, I think we as a people, we don't look at marriage as the same thing as we did 30, 40 years ago. It's just not the same. Like you got young men now that are really opting out of relationships, period, because they are successful. And we're taught as young men, once you get successful, you got to turn your blinders on, take the blinders off, because you got leeches, you got people who want your money, there's people who are just wanting to be with you just for clout, status, and that's not the way it used to be. I don't know what happened with a woman, marrying a man with a bus pass. But see, when you say that these days to a woman, a man got a bus pass, most women gonna laugh at it. That wasn't the way it used to be. We used to look at each other like friendships. Like earlier, before you ended the live, like I'm with my best friend. I can give a damn what she got, what I got. When we get together, we gonna make what we make. And that's just what it is. And I don't think a lot of us do that no more. I think a lot of us bring in what we have and expect to keep what we have. And then you have to add on to what I got. And then when both people think everybody's got to add on to theirs and nobody's looking at the whole picture altogether. And I'll land my plane on that.
Hey, Sister Day, come on through, Day. Day, you there? Pick me. They called me, pick me. Come on, sister.
I was on mute. I apologize, but I was saying
You all right?
I expect a hand clap after I'm finished too, host.
Hold on. I got you right now.
Okay, so I've listened to everyone. Kareem is definitely who spoke to me. And I say that because we have forsaken God's plan for us. I understand everyone up here does not necessarily believe in God. Okay, if you don't, then let it fly. But for us that believe in God, God created an order. And the order was God, the husband, and then the wife, and then the children. So that family foundation. The vows to me have been forsaken for money. The vows have been forsaken for selfishness because we're so into doing what we want instead of building our family. And who is suffering are the children. So I hear everybody talk about marriage and marriages and what it used to be. But do you all know for many years, I think for we black people were married more than whites, than white tea, our counterparts. We were married. We believed in family. If you think about it, there was a time when you were raised, well, maybe not some of you, especially, but a lot of us in the South, you have your cousins, you have your aunts. It was a village raising the kids, right? It was family. Family was important to us. We don't think of family as important to us anymore. And our kids are suffering from it. Our kids are disrespectful, right? Our kids are doing things. They're killing, unaliving each other, unaliving adults, because there is no structure. The family creates that structure. The vows of being a husband and a wife and raising the children together creates that structure. And so when we're sitting here saying, well, marriage isn't what it's not really what it's cracked up to be. It is what it's cracked up to be. We're just not doing our part. We're not doing what we're supposed to do. The women are definitely not doing what they're supposed to do because the women need to step back and allow the men to be the head of the house. That's the first thing. And I've said this many times, we are out of order. And because we're out of order, we have this dysfunction. We have this chaos. Chaos because we're out of order. Once we get back into order of how God ordained and created it to be, then we will start to see the more success. We will start to see kids not being raised by single moms, but being raised by fathers. We'll start to see more families, and it will be a little more less chaotic than what it is. So the vows to me are very important. We are just forsaking them for our own selfish gain. And I love
At one point, hey, there are a lot of men now in this time that are being single fathers than there was in the last generation. No, there are.
Big homie, I'm gonna bring you up in a minute. I see you down there. Mr. Brian J, you can speak. You haven't spoken. You're the only person up here haven't spoken.
Okay, thank you very much. Hopefully everyone is doing well. When you look at
Appreciate
the
you, brother.
reality, yeah, thank you. When you look at the reality up into the 60s and 70s, early 70s, the African American family was the most intact statistically in the United States. We have the highest pro family marriage rate than everyone. And look at the reality when you come out of impoverished communities, you don't see as many single mother heads of house. The rest of the country is not like that. And we jump on that stereotype in that bandwagon, which is a false narrative of the reality. A lot of people that don't agree, believe in marriage and this and that, basically want that moral certification or moral validation to be promiscuous. There's not too many animals on the planet that don't have lifelong mates. In this decadent society we live in, we're given to think that promiscuity and doing your thing is okay, natural, and normal. Just do your thing because you're strong, you independent. It deteriorates the moral fiber of our society, and you see the decadence played out in the movies and the music and the behaviors when you go into certain communities. I'm I'm an older cat, man. I've been around, I've been in them streets, I've been homeless, I've been addicted, and I've also been in a position where I ain't had nothing less than a brand new Escalade for multiple years. I have been tremendously blessed. But through the grace and mercy of God, Jah, Ra, call it what you want. But I know, and I've seen some things. And I remember a time when the people would come around the census counters, we would hide in the rooms and be quiet. How many people live here? 2? And it'd be 8 of us up in there. You understand? We haven't always trusted the system, and so when you hit with these stats, even the stat about black on black crime, that's skewed because we can't possibly be the majority of these criminal acts when we such a minor fraction of the population, but we quick to jump on that. Yeah, because that might be in your hood, but that's not real. And this marriage thing is just a symbol and a symptom of the decadence of the society taking over, destroying families, which make the society and community better. And there's always, and the sad thing, and I'm about to learn, most people have never really experienced love. They've experienced lust. Most people have never really seen a loving family. They've seen people just stand together, making it happen. And love, like Tina Turner said, what that got to do with it? It's a feeling. It's gonna change. And the older you get, you realize people play and manipulate these words, but when you be down with somebody and y'all riding to and for and with each other, that shit is eternal. And nothing and nobody's gonna come between it. Not no religion, not no kids, not no situations. But most of us don't even open ourselves up to that because we too busy doing our thing. And there's always a lot of very intelligent, smart people, but they miserable. And they always got validation and excuses for living immoral. Oh, I'm not judging. You understand? Because see now, this one gonna throw you back. You can look in the dictionary, ask your father, mother, or granny. Now, shacking is okay. Living together and not being married is okay. And not even being committed. Well, who needs that piece of paper? Come on, snap out of it. Ain't nobody judging nobody, but the sad thing is that we've given in and submitted to the decadence of this society. I'm not even gonna go religion. I'm just gonna keep it right there. I appreciate y'all listening, but for those that believe in marriage, be married because it's the greatest thing you could do. If you don't believe in marriage, don't do it because you in lust, because you like the way the cootie cat and the pole is hitting, because that's basically what we all be doing. And far as, marrying somebody, for money, come on now. We all know the stock crash and you on your ass. I mean, it's a good cliche. It's a good cliche. But basically, you say, I target somebody for money because you don't want to develop your own character and personality and have a real relationship. Because the longer you be on this planet, trust me, you'll understand. You'll rather be with somebody that care for you and down for you in a homeless shelter than living in a 20-room mansion with 18 cars and 7 maids. Yeah, but no, you don't have it. There's nothing like true commitment and love. Nothing. And somebody that talking about these stipulations, that means they don't know love. Because once you fall in love, it's not a feeling, it's a commitment. And 2 people commitment, you could take over the world together. So I'm gonna leave it with this, but do understand. But please do understand this. Please do understand this. An illiterate 3rd grade dropout male will become a brain surgeon to love and take care of his wife and family, his woman and family. A woman that have a terrible track record, promiscuity, just all over the place, will be the greatest wife and comforter to a man that shows her and give her that protection she need to feel. She need to know, not just feel, that she need to know. So let us not get caught up in the ways of the world. And please understand, I was very heathenistic, very, very, very heathenistic before I woke up. But I thank the universe that I woke up. And one thing, I don't judge nobody and I like to hear your opinion. And the sign of a person that's emotionally immature is when they feel they just got to keep hammering their point. They got to make sure their view is understood. That's emotional immaturity. And I appreciate being in the audience of emotional, mature people. Bless you all. Thank you for letting me speak.
We appreciate you, brother. We really appreciate that insight, man. We appreciate that, man. Really do. I think Big Homie haven't spoke. Come on with it, Big Homie. Big Homie, you there? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. What's happening with you, big bro? How you doing?
Good to see you, man.
You too, bro. Appreciate you for letting me up. Yeah. So like I said, I just joined, so I'm just getting a little gist of the
Okay, it's cool.
conversation,
You
right?
can listen for a minute if you want to, because we having a conversation. We're gonna move it around. It's cool.
Okay, and I'll chime in a few seconds.
That'll work. That'll work.
All right.
Okay, y'all. Everybody got a chance to speak, so the flow open. We can just one mic and whoever want to come off mic and chop it up. Go ahead, sister. I see you came right off that mic.
You know what? I think I changed my mind. I think I
Come
got
on
something to
with it.
say.
Come on. Come on with it, big homie.
All right, let me go and do it real quick, man. So I think now I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, right? But I'm gonna keep it real for a second. If you want to separate us, let's just say BLK people from YT people for a second. I think what's wrong is our people wanted to adopt certain people way of living instead of being authentic when it came to us, right? I think that's like 75 to 85% um what's the problem. Because let's just say if we go to when people say people was married at a certain point and this and that. Well, back then when it came to marriage, it wasn't really no paperwork to it. It was authenticity. It was a man took a woman as his wife and they went on and did what they did. Like and some that's kind of unpopular. I'm gonna tell you, follow me. I'm going somewhere. If a man and a woman consummate and do their thing and have a child, there's no paperwork involved in that. There's something that natural, what God created. I think some people are too focused on something being recognized by somebody else. And they got this thing that somebody needs to recognize what they got going on instead of being concerned about what they got going on in their household. If that makes sense. If a man and woman is married and they all, being authentic and they got their own thing going on, the state or nobody don't have to be involved in that. So I think that's what's wrong with marriage. Like I heard somebody say a few minutes ago, a woman say that the women need to step back and allow the man to be the leader. Well, a real man, a real leader is not going to allow a woman to let him do. He's going to do it with or without her. So you kind of gotta take that out of the equation. She don't allow a man to do nothing. And like I said, and when it comes to us, we always want to be recognized. Like even if you get a promotion, if you buy a new home, a new car, get a raise, everybody got to know about it instead of working your way up the ladder and being successful. And you don't have to always yell it out. Just be authentic. Everybody don't have to know what you got going on. I think that's what's wrong with marriage.
All right, brother.
You mean like trying
Thank
to
you.
keep up with the Joneses? Is that what you mean?
Let's try it like this, fellas. Let's go male, female until let's try it like that.
Go ahead, Sister Melanie. Melanie.
I can wait.
Go ahead, Sister Thriving.
Well, I mean, money, right? They said the love of money is the root of all evil. So money has been a big part of marriages, especially in the West, actually anywhere. So, sorry guys, I'm trying to catch my breath here. I was chasing my dog. So what I'm trying to say is, if people love money more, which we live in capitalism society, right? and money is loved more, then that's what people are going to do, right? People are going to go after the money and make it a transaction, and that's it. And that's why you're having some of the problems. One of the reasons you're having some of the problems we're having today. And make no mistake, your system in which you live in, the government itself also profits for the failure of marriage, because otherwise the issues of it would have been fixed. There have been laws passed to make it better, to require more requirements, like I suggested earlier. But none of those things have been done. Why do you think that is? Because they make money too off of divorces and child supports and lawyers. That's how they make their money. If you think lawyers will represent you well, you're mistaken. Let me tell you that much. Lawyers, accountants, whoever needs to come in to be an expert witness of that and the other, those people profit from those things. So you have to ask yourself, why is it failing? It's because the failure is profitable. And I land there.
Can I speak to this
I
real
agree.
quick?
I agree with
Go
that. Let
ahead,
me
go ahead, brother.
Okay, let me say, let me say, this is a part of the twisting of our societal morals and norms. Money has not been the central reason for marriages for decades or forever. Marriage is not a transactional situation. And when you pull these materialistic things into it, that's where things get skewed. You marry to procreate and build together. You marry and be with a person and y'all go through whatever y'all go through together. It is not based upon what this family have and what that family have, because half of us never known the other person's family anyway. And you still don't. This America. But even before we came to the Americas, marriage has not been a transactional thing to the colonizer came and put all that in our mind. Because like the brother said, a man with a bus pass can't get married, and they laugh at him. Yeah, because of this skewed mentality. The guy with the bus pass is probably going to work, and eventually he'll have a car and probably own the bus. But that's not what's more important is the fact that he's dedicated. And when you get married, it's about people being dedicated. Because when you get hooked up on that money thing, your thing ain't going to work. You're going to be miserable. That's why you see the divorce rates, because it's an illusion. It's an illusion. It's not a transactional contract. It's a vow you take. It's a
It,
vow you take.
it is now in
That's
a contemporary, like in this contemporary ecosystem, it is transactional. I don't mean to cut nobody off. What I mean is, right now, if you listen to a lot of women who's been indoctrinated, I ain't saying men ain't indoctrinated too, but it's just we're gonna talk about the apples for a second. If you look at the statistics and look at how a lot of them think right now, they think that I done heard what soft girl era. I want a soft life. If he can't pay all the bills, he ain't worth nothing. We both know that ain't how God orchestrated things. I don't care who you are, you're gonna go through some things. You could be a millionaire or you can have $20 in your pocket. You're not gonna be exempt from life, right? So it's been some indoctrination, and the people who actually drunk the Kool-Aid, that's on them because at some point they kind of knew they was drinking the Kool-Aid, but saying I didn't know what was going on is their cop out. If that makes sense, it's an excuse to where I didn't know what was going on.
Let me tap in real quick. And
go ahead, Kareem.
Let
because
Porcelain go, then we'll let you in, Kareem. Oh, she jumped out. Go ahead, Kareem. We was trying to go
so two
for the brother.
so two things can be true.
Yes, yeah, we trying to go man, woman,
You want to
man,
go?
woman.
You want to go, sister? You want to go, sister?
And then you come in right after her, brother.
Yeah, shit. That's what I was getting ready to say. She can go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, sister.
Go ahead, sister. We lost one. I'll get her back. Let me get you back, baby. Go ahead, sister. It's on you, Carl. It's on you, Carmen. We must have lost it. Go ahead. Go ahead, sister.
Who, me or her?
Both of you guys can go. Go
Any
ahead.
any one of y'all could go. Any one of y'all could go until she get back. She could.
Oh,
You can
okay.
go ahead, porcelain. Go ahead, porcelain.
Okay. I wanted to address what Byron said. It's a lot of, in my opinion, it's a lot of misinformation because he basically was telling men that they need to love a woman in her promiscuity ways, and that's not what the
No,
Bible
no,
said.
that's not what I said.
Yeah,
That is
Sir,
exactly.
not
I
what I
heard I
said.
heard what you said, sir.
Bro,
You
Okay,
let,
but
said
let,
no
that's
let,
matter
that's
if
not it.
she,
So
sir,
when
let
you
you
don't
said,
go
Byron ask
forward
some
with that,
questions
sir,
that's
real
not it.
fast in case you misunderstood him. Go ahead, Byron.
Yeah,
Then you
because
can be.
that's not what I said. I said regardless of how promiscuous a woman may have been, it does not matter.
it does
If
matter
y'all
though.
get together, if y'all
It
get
does
together
matter.
and love each other,
It
y'all
does
Hold on,
build
matter.
together.
let him try to land
Everybody
so we
got
can try to hear
history, and ain't
each other. Let
nobody
him
without
land, bro.
sin. Everybody got history. Nobody is without sin. You don't know what a person did before you got with them, regardless of what they said and what you think you know. But when two people get together and take a vow, they move forward.
That ain't how God operate. Everybody, no,
Exactly. And
that
you
ain't how
cut me
God
off
operate.
and
Okay,
you
now
validated
wait,
everything that I
who's
said. Are
talking
you gonna
about
let me
God and
talk or no?
religion?
Hold on.
Who's talking about God and religion? Don't
Let's
skew
let
what I said. Keep what I said as the facts from an old black man. I'm
let's
not
let the
coming from no
sister.
religious order,
So, but
sect, or
you're old
nothing.
and wrong though. You're old
Hold on.
and
Go ahead,
wrong.
sister. Let's
Okay,
let the
and you
sister
know
talk,
so
and then we
much, but
bring you
go
back to
ahead.
you.
We gotta have respect. Gotta have
Go ahead,
respect for the
Exactly.
sister.
elders.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll let the
They
sister
can't
speak.
use their age as to make them to
Go ahead,
validate
sister. Speak your
what they have
piece.
to
But you
say.
can't
Age
be you
So
doesn't
can't be
Kareem,
dis
don't say
age
but you
doesn't
anything else.
matter.
can't
Kareem,
wait a minute, sister.
Kareem,
Wait a
stand
hold
down.
on, brother Byron.
Kareem,
Hold on,
stand
brother
down
Oh my
Byron.
because
God.
that's what it's gonna take away. Kareem, stand down.
Yes,
Peace.
No,
sir.
Kareem, you can
Peace.
speak.
Yes, sir.
I yield.
No, I was just gonna say, out of respect of the elderly, it's too many times that young folk keep saying it don't matter, age don't matter. Age do. I'm 51 years old. The brother is 63. How many people that's on this panel that I'm 20 and 30 years old? And what can you actually tell me about life that I haven't experienced that you just learned?
But
Like, come on
he's
now.
speaking wrong though. He's not speaking right.
He's not
Kareem,
speaking wrong.
Kareem,
Wait a minute,
Kareem, we
sister.
don't need to go down that rabbit hole. Let her stay
Yeah,
on point because
no,
that's
Okay.
what
Okay,
you're
well, let
doing.
me
Okay.
ask
Down
you
the
this,
rabbit
Byron.
hole.
Do you know
Well,
Stand
about
down.
let her say her speech because I want to say what I gotta say. But go ahead.
do you know about micro chimerism? Do you know about that? Micro chimer Oh my God, I can't even talk tonight because I'm so
you good. Take
frustrated.
your time, sister. You good. Take your time.
Micro chimerism. Chimerism. I'll put it in the chat because I know how to spell it. I'm gonna put it in the chat and y'all can look it up. So this is the process basically. You can look it up. Fact check me. So it's basically when a small number of genetically different cells from one individual, right, is deposited inside your body and it lives forever. So if she had multiple sex partners, right? She slept with 15, 16, 20, or she was hot 304, um, on a hot 304 day, she slept with hundreds. All of that all of that biology is laid dormant in her body forever. So when you said that it doesn't matter if she was promiscuous or not, it does matter. It does matter. It affects her baby. Like she can stop her hot girl summer and slept with 200 men, but when she have a baby with you, Byron, is what I'm telling you, that the genetic makeup of all those men that she slept with are now going to be deposited. It's going to have an influence on that child, bro. Is what I was
Okay,
trying
you're
to tell
correct.
you.
We got it. You're correct. Got you. You got me. You're correct. You're absolutely correct. Thank you for that information.
That's
You're
all I was
correct.
trying to say. I wasn't trying to
No,
attack
but
you,
it's
but
good. You're correct. You're correct. You got that. Now let's get back on the conversation.
okay, done.
Can I go now?
Bro,
Oh
Okay.
wait,
don't
hold
go
on.
down the rabbit
I think
hole.
the young
Bring what
lady
you
was
was going
still.
to bring.
Young lady, was you still speaking?
He said I was right, and that's all I had to
Okay.
say.
Go ahead, Kareem, and then we'll hand it down to the young lady at the bottom that was getting back in. Go ahead, Kareem.
So, so like I said, it was a lot of good points and two things could be true. But brother Byron spoke on it, the big homie spoke on it, and sister, they call me Pickney, spoke on it. We still going by our former slave masters' rule and way of life. Everything we do in their name. That's why some of y'all got their last names. Everything you do pays homage to them in that name. We try to look like them. We try to dress like them. We try to act like them. All their riches and their wealth. We want everything they do, we do because they made us into themselves, even in marriage. And this is why I keep saying, are you married by mankind's rule and way of life, or are you going by the vows on way the higher power, God or whoever, in terms of how we was brought into this world and how God intended to be? Because marriage ain't about no money. Of course, no romance, no finance, no romance. That's to a certain extent. Obviously, a man got to have money to have a wife because she's a responsibility. We know that. We understand that. That's just like, if you have children, you shouldn't have no children if you can't take care of them. Because all these women that been doing this for the last 30 to 40 years, I just found out through my mama. Trump just took away Section 8. My auntie been on Section 8 for 30 years, never saved no money or nothing. She been on Section 8 for 30 years, ain't never got married or nothing. Now she about to lose it. What you gonna do when your reality change? Because that 50-50 look real good about right now if you ain't married. Because let the truth be told, it ain't a whole bunch of women out there that's making six figures or high 70, 80, $60,000. Stop it. 85% of us, men and women, are living average lives making 40, 50, 60,000. It's very few percentage people making 100 or more. And we sitting out here acting like we always been rich. Soon as we get a little something, we act like we better than this person, this and this. Stop it, man. That's why I love to see brothers like Brother Big Player, because, and other brothers that I see doing good, because it's the mannerism and it's the energy that you're doing. Just like the brother, you ain't got to say that you got it. People can actually see it. But people that talk like that because you ain't used to having nothing. And then when you get something, you acting like you the only one that's got it. You ain't the only one that's got this and this and that. But my question is, and I don't want no woman to take this the wrong way, but do a woman gain value after marriage? Because see, whether you agree with me or not, women in general, and this is why you need to be married, woman, because you have a beauty clock and a birth clock. At some point as you age, your beauty starts to fade and your value don't gain with men in society, maybe only to your husband and to all the men in your circle, like your son, father, whoever. But not to men that you see, we are visual creatures. We're typically going to judge and vet a woman by what we see. And I'm going to land with this, and this going to hurt a little bit, but I got to say this. 8 out of 10 women in our community are morbidly obese. So when I see a woman, wait a minute, I'm saying this for a reason. I'm not saying this to talk about y'all. I'm saying this for a reason because this goes back to what Brother Byron and the sister they call Pygmy was saying. I got a wife. I'm not rich. I lived in Phoenix, Arizona for almost 30 years, and I used to go to Home Depot, and I used to see the Mexicans, the little people they call illegal aliens, standing 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", with pot bellies, waiting to get a job. And guess what? Maria at home making all the burritos and tacos and massaging him and treating him like a king. When you look at the white man, his woman, when you look at her, she looks like she belonged to him based on her actions and how she conducts herself for the most part. The Latino woman, she looks like she belongs to her man. The Asian, she looks like she belonged to her man. The Native, she looks like she belonged to her man. When it comes to us, you can't tell her nothing. She don't look like, she's not our woman no more. She's the white tees woman. And now the fact that sisters that's on this platform that they call pygmy, the fact that y'all created that term pygmy further shows me that you do not like the rule and what God say in terms of being the head of the house. The man go up under God, the woman go up under the man, and the child go up under the woman. Y'all don't like that law and don't like that way of life because it takes away a power and it makes you have to fall up under some type of authority and be disciplined, and you can't control everything. Like the sister was saying, you out of control. So we got to get it back in control. How do you get back control? I just said this a couple weeks ago. If I'm in a house and somebody trying to break in my house, my woman's sleeping on the side of me. If I got control of the situation, that means I should be able to tell my wife, get down, get under the bed, grab that strap, and just wait. Don't do nothing. And she should be able to say, yes, sir, and just do it. Not, you don't tell me what to do. You ain't my daddy. Don't be talking to me like that. Now you done got us all unalived because I can't control my woman. Why? Because you got an argumentative or this divisive type of spirit, this type of stronghold. You have some type of disdain. You don't like black authority. Black men can't get no basic respect. We can't even get a smile from you. I shouldn't have to smile at a man if he ain't my man. But I should be able to protect a woman. If you get slapped upside the head, somebody stole your pocketbook, I supposed to go over there and stronghold him and save you like Superman. Even though I don't know you, you just got off of work and you was minding your business, and he trying to do something to you. But if I don't do nothing, then I'm sassy. I ain't nothing. But I can't even get a smile. I can't even hold your door. So marriage is not about happiness and materialistic. Because at the end of the day, when you marry, when that woman is on her sick bed and she got a good husband, he ain't gonna be out there cheating. He gonna be out there taking care of the bills and coming right back home to his woman. When that man is on his deathbed and he can't go out there and do nothing, his woman got it together. She's gonna honor him by how she conduct himself. The world judges a man by what kind of woman he got. And I'll land with this.
Amen.
You don't have to. I'm gonna say this little part. You don't have to condemn a dirty glass of water. Just sit a clean glass of water next to it, and it will condemn itself.
Amen.
Okay, we gotta let one of the sisters go. Which one of the sisters want to speak?
It's my turn. Thank you, thank you, thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Okay.
Kareem loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, right? I loved everything you said. At the end of the day, we as a BLK people need to get back to the marriages. I hear people saying, why? It's not worth it. What do you get out of it? The problem is that we're not getting anything from not having it. If anything, we're worse off than what we were when we had it, right? And I keep going back to the children. And that's another thing. We don't think about kids. We sit there and we lay down, we have babies. We don't think about us having babies and not having a family for that baby, how that affects the child. We don't think about how that affects the child of not having a mother around. If you're, as Sarge said, that there's been an increase in single fathers, right? We don't think about it being a single mom, which most of the kids are being raised by single moms, by the way. We're not thinking about that. We're just laying down for pleasure. We're not thinking about how it's affecting our children. And that is the main thing. And that is what the families do. They create a sense of protection for the child. There's stability for the child. There's boundaries. There's rules. You see how a mother is supposed to be. A father teaches a daughter her worth, and a father teaches a son how to be a man. Right now, because we're in a situation where fathers are not in the home, women are not being taught their worth. So they're out here trying to get doing all of that twerking, everything for the gram. They want likes. They're going around doing their bodies. They're thinking these are the things that are going to get them a man. These are the things that are going to get them a husband because they don't know their worth. That's where that man comes in. That's where that family unit comes in. You see the interactions between a husband and a wife. You see how the husband is the head. You see how to be a wife because your mom should be teaching you how to be a wife as a daughter, and the father teaching you how to be a man, the head, as a father. We don't have that anymore. So when we keep saying that these marriages are not working, it's not working because we're out of order. And I've said that before, but I'll keep saying it again. Until we get aligned with God, we will not have great relationships. We will still be in the situation that we're in. We have to start teaching our daughters how to be wives, how to be respectful, and we need to teach our sons how to be men. And you do that by having a family unit. And I land.
Okay. Who wanted driving? You was trying to get in, or one of the brothers?
Yeah, I would.
I can say one quick thing.
Oh, Sarge, go ahead. I don't think I've heard Sarge speak. Go ahead.
And before you say it, bro, I just want to say, host and everybody on the panel, I got to go to work in the morning. I'm gonna come back and rejoin with y'all a little bit later.
Okay, we appreciate you,
Get
Big
some
All
Mama.
good
right,
I
rest
man.
this
appreciate I
evening.
appreciate all of y'all, bro. Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
brother.
Some blessings, bro.
I wanted to start out with one of the gentlemen said about knowing your worth, and one thing my mom and father taught me, I was blessed to have both of my parents, and a mother is going to teach a woman how to be a woman, that virtuous woman, and the father's going to teach that girl what type of man that she needs to look for. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa with the man, the father's going to teach that boy what you need to do to be able to keep your woman. But on this note, like where how I agree with it, we have fallen way off the mark on what marriage really is. I'm married. I'm married it was contractual, and I can't lie about it. I mean, I cared about her, true enough. I did love her, but I married her because she was pregnant with my baby. I wanted her to have insurance, and in my mind, I think that might have been the biggest mistake I might have made. Even though I did care about her and I chose her to be my wife, I think the way it came out and maybe the way she seen it, she might not have thought that it was actually legit. But now that I've gotten with somebody else, like I'm not married to her, but I feel more married to this woman than I ever was the woman that I actually gave my vows to, if you guys understand that. Um, Simply because
I feel you.
huh? Well, I was
I
looking at the
understand because I
well-being of my
experienced that
son.
myself.
I was looking for the well-being of my son. I wanted my son to have coverage. I wanted him, the birth to be, seamless, no issues. So I wasn't necessarily thinking about, what's the quirky, sweet way I can ask her to marry me, or what do I need to do to, woo her. I thought in my mind as a man, hell, I'm paying everything. I'm taking care of everything. Of course, I'm not there a lot. I'm a certified welder. I'm gone all the time, but she never had to worry about anything. If she needed it, there was a card she could swipe. It was all the money was always there. And I do realize that now, that I don't know if I could say that I did it wrong, but maybe I could have came around it about in a light, a different way. I don't think that it would have changed the situation anyway, But and on another thing, like I also agree with pecking order. I remember as a young man, 20 years old, I seen all the big homies, man, whether they were doing legal or illegal shit. They was pulling all the women. They had them. The young ones, they was pulling everybody. And they was in their 30s and 40s. And I realized, you know what? Once I done got, I'm 45 now. You know what? I'm in that area now. I can call my own shots. I own all my own shit. I have assets, to that nature. And once a man gets in that spot, it makes it really hard for him to like approach a woman that says she's 35, she's already in, she's got her life together. Most men ain't gonna want to even try to deal with that. They'd much rather get a newbie, somebody who's learning, so that he can kind of coach her to fit his picture, if you understand what I'm saying. But vows have been
Program.
huh?
Right. You mean he's looking for a woman that's willing to be on his program.
Yes, versus I have to contort and bend to fit your narrative because I'm supposed to be the man, right? So if you find a man where you feel like you have to make him turn and contort, you already need to pack your shit and leave because he's already not the man for you. Once you meet the man that's for you, he's going to tell you exactly what he's going to do. He's not going to ask you because this is his life. This is his world. If you want to fit in his picture, then that's what you're going to have to do as, say, a successful man. And it's hard now because a lot of young black men, black women, you guys are doing better than us statistically, jobs wise, money wise. You guys do better than us right now. We don't have the trades that we used to. And for a man to walk in and he have all of his stuff, and it's nice to see an independent woman. I love to see an independent black woman that has her own and she's doing her own. That makes me proud. But when it comes down to me and you living in the same house and we working together, a lot of times it's just not gonna work. And I land my plane on that.
Go ahead, sister.
Sorry. So you said that a man doesn't. I want to make sure I'm saying it right. He's not going to ask you your thoughts or care about your thoughts because you're in his world. Is that what you said?
Well, not necessarily. I think you took that in the wrong light. He's
No,
not
that's what I
going
want to
to.
make sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As a man, he's already got his steps in order. You see what that's what I mean. Like while you're explaining things to him and things that you need, he's fitting the stuff that you need in the steps that he's already got lined out. Nothing's gonna stop him from making the steps that he's already made to get himself to, to be that better man. If you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, I got what you're trying to. What I'm understanding you to say is he's determining if you fit in with where he's trying to go.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes. Yes, and the woman should feel the same way. She should be looking at him like that's the thing I love about my girl. I don't have to say shit. She can be all the way across the room. She can look at the demeanor on my face and she knows something's going on. She knows me. She reads me because I'm hers. And I think a lot of women now, y'all don't want to take the time to read your man. You guys want your man to read everything on y'all, and we terrible readers. I swear for God, we don't read so well.
So,
Go ahead,
But
sister.
I'm not saying that a woman shouldn't have no say. A real man is going to talk to his woman. He's going to get her insight. But ultimately, at the very end, he's gonna make the final decision. And I would imagine that most women, ain't that what most women want? They want that man to, let speak, you guys communicate, but ultimately, if the failure happens, the failure should be on the shoulders of the man, right?
I agree.
Okay. Well, I'm not trying to make nobody mad. It's just the way I was raised. But I don't like look down on women. I don't think women are below men. I think we're the same, but we have different roles.
I'd agree with you. Um, so
Okay,
I want,
sister, y'all go ahead and speak. I ain't heard nothing from the sister Melanie and Porcelain in a minute. So go ahead and speak, sister.
thank you. So I wanted to sit back and listen so I could understand how to speak towards the topic because there's several different ways it can go, which all of you have brought several different perspectives. But for me, I feel like vows for man and woman start at different points in their life. To me, vows are taught to a woman while she is growing up, while she's developing under the cover of her father, because you're supposed to be devoted to who your dad is handing you over to. So the only way that you're gonna, to me, successfully fulfill your vows and your commitments is if you're trained up in the way that you should go. To me, for men, I would say that your vows, as far as covering the woman, comes later because a man is supposed to be on his purpose. So even though we're both being raised to be to be taught to go the way that will be best for us, we both have different purposes in life. And to me, a man can't complete his vows until he reaches a point of understanding that it's God, man, woman, and child, and his purpose always comes first. And I'll land on that.
Okay, I think the other sister wanted to say something. Miss Porcelain and Thriving, you guys want to speak?
Yeah, I do. So these conversations be getting me confused. So I end up turning to Google because I'm like, I want to make sure I understand what we're talking about. First, I
The
looked up
same thing.
what is marriage, right? And I guarantee you, if you ask everybody on the panel, they will give you a different definition of what marriage is, right? So if you and I meet and we're about to get married, I hope our definition or what we think it is match. Otherwise, I could have a preconceived notion that you are on the same wavelength with me in this marriage thing, and it might not be the case. And then down the road, we are having issues, right? So according to AI, marriage is a socially and often legally recognized union between two people, typically a man and a woman, that establishes rights, obligations, responsibilities between them, as well as between them and their children. And guess what? And in-laws. Who knew? So the in-laws are in the picture too. What? It's a cultural institution that provides structure for interpersonal relationships, often including sexual activity. Often, what do you mean often? Not always, and can involve legal and or religious ceremonies. So you can see it has a lot to do with the obligations. What obligations am I signing up for? The rights. What rights does marriage give me, right? Which responsibilities do I have as a wife, and what responsibilities do you have as a husband? Unless people sit down and clearly define these things, we are getting in trouble with this whole marriage thing. And I'll end there.
Okay, host. I had something that I did want to say. Um, when people say like, you know, in a relationship, I listened to Pastor Geno Jennings, and I remember one of his sermons was talking about how it is a man's role to provide. So I think when men get met with friction in a relationship, is because women are in a role of masculinity by trying to provide for themselves. And so, in that particular mindset, a man is debased in a woman towards a woman. She's like, you can't tell me what to do. Why? Because I'm providing for myself. And these people, God, Kevin Samuels, he even said he don't even respect the 50-50 ideology or the 30-70 or whatever. He don't respect that. He said he expects for a man he respects when a man goes 100% because he has his control. It can make a woman submit when he do 100%. So if a man is providing 100%, in the laws of nature, like, she has to submit to him, because it's like, you're paying all my bills, you're taking care of the home front. Let me cook your food. Let me make sure you're comfortable. Let me just provide you comfort, because I know that you toil the world to make it comfortable for me. And also, I think about in the Bible, when Jacob worked for Rachel and Leah for 14 years, he was given a service to their father to marry them. So men have to provide for a woman, and we cannot escape that. And I just feel like, you know, I just feel like when Kareem was talking about how, I agree with 98% of what he said. But when he said that, well, really 100%, because he was saying that we have a biological clock and we have a clock for our beauty. We are, as you get older, you dwindle. But, men have erectile dysfunction. Sometimes they get caught with that, and they have other complications with them as well. So I feel like you're never supposed to meet a man for what he can do for you. I feel like it needs to be a genuine connection. And I also realized that the reason why divorce rate is so high is because nobody actually held on to their virginity. Like Melanin was saying, that your father have to choose the man, but we also know that we have a lot of fatherless households out here. So it's just like a cycle of like a demonic cycle. And I don't see it getting better, because people have stepped away from the Bible and they stepped away from principles. And like she said, there's no virgins out here. So and when you divorce, according to Geno Jennings, when you divorce, you're supposed to, you're forever tied to that partner forever, for the rest of your life, until they unalive themselves or get unalive. You're not supposed to get married in the eyes of God. He look at y'all as one. You only released from
Your
that
insight on
covenant.
something
You're
on what
only
you said.
released from that covenant is when they pass away, and that's when you're free. Not just because she made you mad, or he was abusive, or he used smugs, you're forever bound to that person in God's eye. And I land my plane.
Hey, I wanted to ask you your opinion, a woman's opinion on
Hold
that,
on,
because you said
hold
something that
on,
caught my
hold
attention.
on, real
I'm
quick,
sorry.
side.
Go
Hold
ahead.
on.
Go ahead, man.
On business, you here, brother? I know. You wanna? Where you
Yeah, I
at?
was gonna say,
Can I
according,
read this statistic real quick? Can I, for brother, because brother
Hold
Sergeant.
I mean,
on, hold on, Kareem.
I'm about to
Hold
hop
on,
right down, brother. You can
hold
go
on.
ahead right as soon as
Okay,
I'm done.
go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna
Well,
hop
whenever
right
he
down.
step
But
in the room, we
just
make
real
sure
quick,
he move
sister,
around.
I feel what you're saying, but according to scripture, except it be that woman or that man committed adultery, fornication is going on. You know what I'm saying? That's when if they can separate under those grounds, and that's what Jesus said. But anything else, you are absolutely right. Y'all in covenant. You know, that's between you, that woman, or that man and God. It's not just with the person you're talking to, it's also with God. I just wanted to clarify that, sister. And anyway, I was just coming up here to tell everybody, go ahead and get my man up to the 20K likes. 20K. Everybody, I see everybody doing it now. Last live was kind of intense to say the least. But and it was getting a little bit hot tonight too.
So let me throw this.
Facts, absolutely. You need to get to the Bible, not religion. Absolutely correct. 100%. But anyway, that's all I came up with to say, man. Hey, brother, you already know, man. I gotta get to the bed because you know what I gotta do in the
Let's
morning.
get to the bed to get to the bag, man. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
Always pulling up, man. Love, baby.
Love, Fimo.
All right. Go ahead, Saj. You can finish up.
I was gonna ask her a question because she brought up when she said that a man can basically make a woman be submissive because he's paying all the bills, he's doing everything. I was gonna ask her and the ladies, well, what happens when the man is doing all of that, but he's never there because he is doing all of that? He has to be gone to pay the bills and to take care of the foundation that you living on. Is he wrong still
I think
for
she
you not getting the time that you wanted?
left, Sarge. I think she's come out.
Oh, dang.
She'll
Okay.
probably be back. She was still
There
there.
There she
she
Let's,
is.
go.
did you leave?
I did, but I can't answer. I can't answer his question. He's not wrong. Like a woman, like when you think about Proverbs, 31.
I think both of them was talking to you, fortunately.
Okay, which one?
Both of them. You can speak to the
Bro,
first guy, and then you can speak to Sarge.
The first guy when he said, if a man cheats, we all know that if you cheat, the marriage is void. What he's talking about, if he's always working and he's not there to be a companion, to the woman.
Right. I've had a lot on like I said, I got a divorce 4 years ago. And that's one of the biggest questions that I always that I beat myself up with is I was a good husband. I never cheated. I paid the bills. I worked, but I worked. I was always at work. I'm still always at work. You know, but sometimes that gets to me. Like, was that a good enough reason? For all of
No,
that
I
to
mean,
happen?
I really, my heart goes out to you because she was supposed to step up in her femininity, and she's supposed to give you affirmations of love. She's supposed to give you comfort to let you know, like, I understand that you're working for us. I feel like she was very selfish to demand that on you, knowing that you're working, knowing that you're trying to provide a better, stabilized environment for her. I feel like that was very selfish for her to leave. And that boils down to the individual of the person at that point, because I too was in a relationship where I got mistreated. My ex before my husband, he actually took $150,000 from me, and I invested like in our love. I was there for him, supporting him, and that's what a
Right.
woman's supposed to do. She's supposed to support you in your dreams. She's supposed to, have her own money, have whatever she has, but it's y'all money together. And when I utilized that principle, it's our money. He dominated. He took advantage of me, and he took y'all. So
Right.
we meet rotten people. The Bible say, "Don't throw your pearls to pigs; they'll trample them over your feet." It's hard to distinguish who's a pig until they actually show you that they're a
You
pig.
ain't never lied about that.
So you can be, and I was with this person for 12 years and I didn't
And
know.
I'm
Oh,
almost
she's
13.
stupid. She's stupid. And with you, oh, he's always working. It's never good enough. But you have to meet somebody that's very comfortable in their position and that's not hypersexual and that can still feel that same love with a video visit. Hey, babe, I just want to let you know I love you. I know you're working. I got dinner ready for you when you get home instead of nagging and complaining that you don't spend time with her. So I apologize.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're a
I
good
just want
man.
to say to the panel real quick, I really appreciate all the beautiful sisters that's on this panel because this is the one time personally for me. This is the one time since I've been on TikTok in these 2 weeks that I actually got to be involved in a meaningful, good conversation for some sisters that I can learn with the energy and the spirits intact. See, this is what I love right here because this is how we grow and we learn in a good setting and argue in the best of manners in a good spirit. This is the real church. So salute to the bigger player and salute to everybody on the panel for making this happen. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Sarge, was that you who, I'm sorry, I'm trying to work and listen at the same time. Was that you who asked the question about a husband working too many hours and stuff like that? Was that you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. Here's what I am learning and I had to learn, being in a marriage. Sometimes we need to balance everything out. It doesn't necessarily mean we have straight A's in each category. So what I mean is like our spiritual life, our health and wellness, our relationships, our home management, our finances and wealth. I think and that's my platform, by the way. I think we need to find a balance. Yeah, you might be making good money, right? And give her what she wants financially, but we're losing out on that relationship side where she also needs to have that time, that quality time with you. So, how are you balancing that side out, right? Because without a proper balance across everything, then we fail anyway. Even though you are trying to hustle and do the right thing for your family financially, the relational piece is suffering too, right? So it's like, okay, maybe you might be here 1 week out of the month, but that week make it meaningful to make up the 3 weeks you're gone. You know what I'm saying? Just plan it
Right.
out and make it meaningful. So that way, kind of, she knows you're working hard, but she also sees that effort on the relationship side.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that I
I
think
can see
that
that.
you can't have it both ways, right? I just don't, and I think
Yeah,
sometimes
because it's kind of hard, man. She just had a brand new car. I just bought her a brand new car. I
yeah,
just bought a house, and all these bills is on me.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, Sarge. At the end of the day, right? Something has to give as women.
Yeah,
Can't say that we want him to take care of us, but I only want you to take care of me, only working 40 hours a week. That doesn't work. At the end of the day, we have our roles. And if he's a provider and he's a great provider, I'm 100% in agreement with Porcelain. Her job is to make sure that he don't have no stress. Her job is to make sure that when he comes home, she's doing whatever he needs to do because he's working really hard as the provider. Her job is to make sure she give him all of the little smacks he needs wherever he needs. So when he goes out in that world working all of those hours, he knows that home is taken care of. I can't be selfish and say, well, I need you to give me a balance. Well, then give up that car, give up that house. But these women don't want to do that. So I'm just saying, you can't.
Go ahead, sis. Talk about it.
like I'm trying to figure out where y'all were raised, because where the hell did y'all
Where's
come
y'all
from?
at all the
Because I
time?
mean,
You
what
need to
the
keep.
hell?
Hey, brother, you need to
I
pin them
respect
up.
what you're doing. And I think you got to keep doing it, doing what you're doing, because you're doing the right thing. And you're saying the woman that you're with now, she respects that.
She appreciates me, y'all. Like when I get home, she's at the door waiting on me, smiling. I ain't never
Every
had no shit
woman
like
is
that
not a
ever.
wife. Every woman is not a wife. And I think that's
You
something
ain't up. You're true.
Hard.
Every woman's not a wife, and I don't think every man is a leader. I mean, it works both ways, right? Or you
Right.
gotta find that
Hey,
for you. But
fair
every
exchange, no robbery.
that's it. But
We
keep
want
doing
to let
what you're doing, Sarge. Go on and make that money.
Can I say one thing to
Gonna
what
do it. I'm
that
gonna do it.
they call me pygmy said? I
okay,
just want to say one
after
thing.
porcelain, we want to let the young lady, she haven't spoke yet, Navia. Okay, after porcelain, we want to let Navia speak. Go ahead, porcelain.
I just wanted to piggyback off what they call me pygmy said. Like another thing, you have to watch out for the appetite of materialism. If a woman constantly is influenced by social media, if she's influenced by, keeping up with the Joneses, that's a dangerous woman. She's going to forever put you on a money treadmill to produce. So you have to align yourself with a woman that has realistic expectations, and she doesn't have a appetite for materialism or consumerism or commercialism. Like if she always got to have a new weave and all of this stuff, and it's best to date a woman in her natural state. Like I'm natural. I don't have no weave. I don't do the eyelashes and none of that stuff because it's very expensive. It's good for ceremonial purposes. I'm not knocking no one that does it, but I'm not going to make you go out there and produce and have to deal with, the radical workforce for a weave that's going back to China man, some eyelashes that's going back to China man. Like I'm not I love my husband too much to do him that way. So you just got to watch out for those type of women. I know y'all are drawn to them; they're beautiful, but when they have that type of appetite, oh, I gotta have this new purse, $1,500 purse, and you're hurting, your hands hurt, your body's sore for a purse, for a car that next year, 10 years later, that car's not gonna be valued at nothing. She's gonna want a new car. It's called a money treadmill. So you got to keep it simple.
I'm gonna be honest.
Thank
When
you,
I
host,
see
for
all them
having me. Love
eyelashes and
y'all.
stuff, I see a bill. That's
Yeah.
expensive.
Okay.
Big bro, just make sure you pin them up as soon as they come in your
I'm
Navia,
taking, but
go ahead,
thank you.
Navia. I think Navia was there. Thank you, porcelain. That was good insight. Go ahead, Navia.
Good morning. I just wanted to tap in a little bit with you guys. So, as far as the conversation about being with a man who works a lot, my husband has always been very, very ambitious and has always wanted to provide everything that he could for his family. And I've been married to this man for 11 years. And what I've had to learn is that it takes great responsibility. It takes great responsibility on my part to make sure that my time is spent in healthy ways and ways that keep me not from needing too much or relying on him too much for my own emotional needs, but being able to meet my own emotional needs and self soothe, as well as have the patience for our children and him when he comes home. And that was absolutely a learning curve once you get into it in practice. But as far as vows, I was brought up by a two-parent household, and my father was very, very on us that your body and your mind and your heart and those are the most special thing that you have, and they're all interwoven and interconnected, right? So you have to be very selective about who you give that to. And the three biggest things he told us to look for were the ability to protect, provision, and to have presence. And you don't have to always be around in order to hold presence in your household. If I feel like a strong man, my husband does well to, he might not be here all the time, but he holds presence within his household. His word is law. He is obeyed. He is trusted. He makes the decisions. So yeah, and I think that vows are forever. Marriage is forever. You make that agreement. You need to stick it out and see it through. Sure, there are some circumstances, but the young lady who left also talked about there's no more virgins out here. I was pure when I got married, and I'm so grateful for the discipline that was instilled in me to do
All
that.
right, go ahead, sis.
But I was 19 when I got married, but the discipline that I had made room in my marriage during that time before engagement and marriage for um, for romance, for trust to build, for me to know who this man was outside of the bedroom, right? I'm not only going to be with this man in the bedroom, I'm going to be with him out in the world in a home. And I wanted to know who I was letting into my space and whose space I was making mine. So I definitely tell girls, save it, put it away, because that's in that gray area, men will show you who they are and what they care about.
Folks find all these
Yeah,
good women. How
that
you
was
find all
beautiful.
these women that know
I
what the
couldn't.
hell? What the hell? How you find what the hell,
I
bro?
know. It's funny how they just come on in from nowhere. God bless you with some angels tonight. He made sure we got the we got the word today. You gonna learn today.
I wanted
I
to.
actually followed after Miss Melanie because her and I had a great conversation yesterday.
Let me add something real quick.
Kudos to
The young
Melanie.
lady, that's a she want
Hey,
to speak. Young
Queen.
lady that just came in.
Hi.
She just you can speak if you want to. You just came in, or you could listen for a little while if you want.
You mean respond to the prompt?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I think vows are definitely more than just like ceremonial words. I feel they're definitely promises that two people choose to make to one another in the beginning of their relationship. I feel like it's your final moment before you seal the deal where you actually set your intentions, commitments, values, your promises of commitment. So
Okay.
May I jump in, and then I'm gonna be on mute for a little while, or you can drop me if you need the box.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna be a little harsh, and I don't need permission this time. I'm just gonna say it. So here's the thing, right? I understand we say providing and protecting, and you want to be his peace, and that's all good, right? When he comes home and he's been working, he's providing for you, and that's really good. But here's what happens. I'm finding, and the statistics back me up on here, one of the reasons that people face, or some of the health issues that people face who work too much, okay? I understand that we want providers, but at what detriment, right? Men face cardiovascular problems like heart disease, stroke, increased risks of cancer, mental health challenges, depression, anxiety. So the reason I'm sharing this, and the reason I say balance, just because you have your man leave the house, he's doing these jobs for 78 hours a week, that's not healthy. Yeah, you may be his piece all you want when he comes home, but he's still facing 78 hours of a week of, especially for a black man, out here stressed out, facing health problems. So there's gotta be a balance. Maybe your wife doesn't need that fancy car. Maybe she can drive, I don't know, a Nissan Quest, that sits seven. It's okay, it's not fancy, but it gets the job done. Maybe you don't need a fancy big house in the suburbs. Maybe you can, settle down with 3 bedrooms and have the kids share rooms. But at least your husband is working at decent hours, is able to come home, yes, make the home as peaceful as you want it to make it, but he's able to spend that quality time with his family, his kids. He's able to get involved in his kids' events that they grow up so fast, by the way. So, my question to you, and I will leave you all with this, is this: at what detriment? What is more important, right? Fancy things, more money, health issues, or quality time, balanced, healthier lifestyles? Which one is, what do we want? What is it that we want? And I'll leave it at that.
Can
So
I
it
speak to
sound
this?
like
Can I speak to it,
you're
bro?
talking about sacrifice. Well, go ahead, BJ. Go ahead, Byron, brother Byron.
Thank you. Now, going back to something that was said earlier, I heard what she said. Going back to something that was said earlier about a man taking care of things 100% and the wife, being submissive and all that, to him because that's what he's doing. Well, basically, if you're taking care of things 100% and the reason your wife is submissive to you and loving to you is because of that, you got the wrong woman. Because that means if your income drops or the situation drops, now
He been tricked out of the spot, Byron.
say that. Yeah,
I say he tricked himself out of the spot. He
yeah,
got the representative. He ain't get the real thing.
right. If it's contingent on him taking care of things 100%, that's why
Right,
she's submissive. You got the wrong woman because things happen
right,
and your 100 could
right.
drop to 40. But like what
Right,
Navia
right,
said,
right, right.
Navia said, Miss Nav, I may not be saying it right, but she said she got married at 19, beautiful, and was virgin, beautiful. But the one thing that she said, and all she said, was the fact that she trusts him, and that means she respects him.
Hard.
Now when you got a man that's out there, he working, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, I do understand it. And I do know if you live long enough, you'll learn and understand things better later. You will. But I've done the 60, 70, 80 hours, and I kind of looked at a couple of my kids, how I kind of lost them. So what I had to do is go back and just basically get my money up. You understand? Instead of being the worker, be the supervisor or the boss or the owner. I mean, no excuses. There's a healthy balance that you need. No one needs to be out of the house a good 80 hours out of every week. That's a recipe for disaster. And if you're a truck driver, take her with you. I mean, let's be realistic, because
Man.
it's not going to be good. But I do want to say that, of course, a man is supposed to provide 100%. That's our responsibility, duty, and role. Let's not get off of that. We allow, because of society, to get off of that. It ain't no 50, 50, 50, 30, none of that. If she work, that's her business. Long as she at home when I get home to take care of me when I come through that door. Now, both my wife and I now are retired, but she retired the day we got married. Okay? And we put this low expectations on manhood and responsibility, and we allow it to fester. And it's festering by people that look up what being a female is, or what being independent is. Who the hell looks up what is a marriage? These type of people keep this. It's not decadence. It's foolishness. You a man, man up. I'll end with this. When you're married, you are no longer two people. You one. Like Sarge was saying, his lady is in tune with him. Sarge would probably take the food and put it in her mouth before he put it in his mouth, because he feel
Absolutely.
she's exhibited. And when you married, and we know we're talking about the piece of paper, but Sarge is married now. He got a woman that he feel is down for him, and he down for her. And whether it's lust or love, they together. But you become one. You become one. It's no longer two people. You take care, you embrace, you love, you support each other. Y'all are one. And not the children, not the church, not the club, none of that stuff. Y'all one person. And it's not contingent on monetary control, because if somebody respecting you because you controlling their flow, they don't respect you. They may fear you. There's a difference in respect, because see, that honor and submission gonna come if you're broke, but you still standing doing your best to be a man. You're doing all that your body allows you to do. So let's not get off that, and let all this foolishness come in. And I'm gonna leave out, but host, I thank you tremendously for maintaining such a high level, intelligent, meaningful discussion, because I float through this. I did say I'm retired, so I'll be just looking for stuff, right? But you maintain a high level of very, just good stuff. And I
It's
want to send to
class.
my brother Kareem. I
Yes,
want
sir.
to send greetings from an associate of my 20 of number 23 in Buffalo, New York. Uh,
All
most
praises
of
to Allah.
most of them is in Phoenix right now. I know, because I was there too. But listen,
Listen,
host, you're doing a heck of a job, you know, and I'm
I
telling you,
really appreciate when you come in here too, Brian. We really
thank you.
appreciate you. I know you be moving around a lot. I've had a
Yeah.
few of them I missed you on, but I really like when you had the time to come in and grace us with your presence, bro.
Well, I want to thank you, for your decorum, and I want to thank you for representing, because you representing excellence.
Thank you,
You
brother.
know, and I appreciate that. And you
Appreciate
know,
you, man.
as men of our as men of our condition, when you see a man that you don't mind your child sitting in front of, that's a good man. You know, and your public presentation warrants that I wouldn't be worried if my child or my wife or my daughter were to fall off on your channel. You know, I wouldn't be worried because you represent excellence. You let people get their thing off, but I
That's
appreciate you, brother.
that's right.
And I'm just gonna tell you, tomorrow ain't promised. So you know, tomorrow's not promised. So if ain't nobody told you they love you, I'm gonna tell you I love you, brother,
I
and
love you
keep
too, man. I
keep
really
doing.
appreciate them words, man. That's a lot
All
of good
right,
words of affirmation, bro. I really
okay.
appreciate that, man.
Y'all be well, cause my wife done gave me the signal, so it's over.
All right, peace and love, big
Get
brother
off.
Ryan.
All right, thank
I
you.
can't
Sleep
wait to talk
well.
to
Peace and
you
love.
again too.
All
Take
right,
care.
man.
Take
All
care of
right.
yourself. Don't work too
Look,
hard now.
all right. I see a brother Javon just came in. If you want to speak, brother, you can. He might not be there. The flow open, y'all. So if y'all want to,
So I just want to add, respect is given, trust is earned. And Sister Neighbor, she hit it on the head when she said she trusts her husband.
yes,
And
that's a powerful
that
word.
trust right there, because see, men, the way well, I say keep it in the eye because I don't want, I don't want to assume, but generally from my experiences, generally men, they receive they love from a woman from through the respect channels. You respect me and you trust me. That's how you show you love me and you honor me. And when she said that, it resonated me because my wife, she took a chance on me, right? I was coming from California and I was on business and I was going back to my home state on business to Michigan, to Detroit, Michigan. But I had to stop in Texas, Arlington, Texas, because I was meeting up with a friend so we can drive there together. And when I stopped at this car wash, my wife approached me. That's how we met. She tapped me on the shoulder and asked me to vacuum her car because she was a damsel in distress, so to speak. Anyway, in the time that we have grown and love everything, I told her, I said, hey, I understand that your trust factor is kind of shaking because of what you've been through and what you let me know. And I understand that. And I'm willing to be patient because I really believe you're a good woman and you just need time to heal in that little department. But I told her and I explained to her, the moment you trust me is the moment we're going to fully pair bond and Bluetooth get together. It's going to go smoothly. Because ain't nothing like when a woman fully trusts a man and she know he got it and it just works in sync. It's the most beautiful thing. That's the part that I think people lose sight on when sister, they call me Pigley, was talking about in terms of marriage and being in sync. When you in sync, it's heaven. There's no heaven for the black man but the woman. The woman is the man's heaven in my experience. Because I could be dirt broke, beat up, and hungry. I'll land with this because I know I want to take over. But I could be dirt broke, beat up, and hungry. Only my wife can make me feel like Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, and Prince all put together when things going left. Only she could give me that feeling. Only she could put that spark in my chest like Optimus Prime and Transformers and make me feel like I could do anything. That's the power of a woman. And when you got that connection and y'all got that connection mentally and spiritually, that's the magic of marriage. Because marriage is it is a business. It's the business of family, running a family. And when everybody is in a lane and taking care of their business, it's a beautiful thing. The thing is a lot of us, and I'm not just gonna say women, but men too, we wasn't raised to how to be husbands. We wasn't raised to how to be wives. A lot of us come from a lot of dysfunction background and families that stems from years all the way down to slavery, but that's a whole nother story. But we still dealing with a lot of stronghold, familiar spirits, and curses that we're all dealing in our family in terms of dysfunction. And so a lot of times when we get grown and we go out on our own, most people learn by what they see and what they learn through their family, right? So when you go into that person, a lot of us got a lot of childhood dysfunction that and misplaced information that when we get with this person, we not realizing we taking our reactive mind into that situation. And that's why I say we when you can say that, I like Brother Byron was saying, when I can say to myself, I messed up, now I'm ready to grow. But I can't grow if I don't say I messed up. I gotta be able to admit my wrong to be able to see which way is right. Otherwise, I'm going to be arrogant, headstrong, hard headed, and keep making the same mistake and picking the same kind of woman. And then I blame all women ain't ish because I keep blaming the same kind of woman. If I know you, if she promiscuous and she keeps sleeping with different men, why every time I keep attracting the same kind of woman that keep dogging me out? Because there's something in me that I ain't changed. I can't expect to get something that I didn't put in. So to see and hear women that finally get it, I just want to tell y'all women, I keep saying this, but y'all don't really know how much y'all make black men feel to hear y'all talk like that. It's a big thing to hear a black woman or women, period. I don't care what your race is. To hear women talk and talk up for men and understand, just to hear another woman that understand, it makes a man, particularly black men, to say, whew, I'm glad somebody understand. Because we be going through the ringer, but just to hear, it's one thing to hear one black woman or one woman. But when you got several that's saying these things, y'all sound like some female Kevin Samuels, but I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all have it.
Hey, my man. Javon. Hey, my man. Yo,
Go
this
ahead, brother.
Javon. This Javon, man.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, brother. How you doing, Javon?
Hey, what's going on, brother? Hey, look, I be seeing your you know what I'm saying, the little shorts and shit. Like I'm sorry, excuse my language. I'm a little toxic cat that came from the club and shit. You know, I be seeing your shorts, man, and I'm gonna say this real quick. You know what I'm saying? I know how y'all talking all positive, but I'm just gonna speak my truth. You know what I'm saying? They look, my man, cause I see you. It look like you took the red pill to me. You know what I'm saying? So look, I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. I look at it. At the end of the day, man, we can talk all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, we need to goddamn brothers need to stick together. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna speak on something that I feel like a lot of niggas ain't looking at. It's like, for example, like the little Carter B and Stephon Diggs situation. You know what I'm saying? All situation. You know what I'm talking about? Like, see, Stephon Diggs, man, if you notice, he ain't posted, he ain't said nothing. He ain't did not one thing that this is woman. He ain't representing that this is woman. You know what I'm saying? She doing all that, whatever, but he ain't did nothing. See, men gotta understand that everything ain't gotta be to the extreme. You ain't gotta be that woman man. You can have fun with her. You can fuck her. You know what I'm saying? Be a best friend. You can kick her with her. You ain't gotta be a man. Like, I know women who done been in marriages for like 20 years, 15 years, and they divorced their husband, a nigga who done gave them a whole relationship, and go be somebody else goddamn side bitch. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be careful with that lingo, baby boy.
My bad, man. You know
No,
what I'm
no.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
They be that.
abbreviate your words. Just
Yeah.
abbreviate the words you want to say.
Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
Yeah, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we as men, we ain't gotta be that serious, like, you know what I mean? Like, when we dealing with women, man, we just gotta, like, just have fun with them, man. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's what they want. They don't want us to be their savior for real. Most of the time when we are that serious with a woman like that, or we giving them a relationship, all we're gonna have, man, they're gonna fall out with us. and then they gonna call us broke, call us we ain't never did nothing for him. Look at Papoose. We ain't all of a sudden now he ain't did nothing. He done did a whole bid for the woman, and the woman act like he ain't did nothing.
Now, see, brother, these sisters on the panel ain't been coming with that energy. They've been coming with a different energy. They've been, they've been, they've been real powerful. Go ahead. They've been real powerful and respectful. So
Yeah,
they coming.
they some female Kevin Samuels minions over here, bro. So
Oh no
like
no no no
it's
no I ain't speaking about pain. I literally
Yeah,
just
I know.
hopped
I hear
on.
you. I was just
No,
saying
yeah,
that they
I
coming
literally
with a
hopped on.
different
Yeah,
energy
I
to
don't know what been talked about. I'm
it. Yeah,
literally I didn't flipped on my phone and I seen your face, man. I just know the content you put out is like it's all for brothers to wake up, and you know what I'm saying. And you can't be out here on the slope being slow.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you trying to wake them up. You trying to show them like, hey, look, this ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta make them realize like, hey, look, this was out there. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't gotta like fall into that category and be like that. So I do was speaking on that shit. I'm sorry, you gotta speak on that like just on the
I
strength
got you.
because you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know, like I just see what it is, but I know a lot of people ain't really probably looking at it like that. But for the brothers who out here, you know what I mean? Like you ain't gotta don't let nobody shame you into wanting your freedom. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Wanting your freedom, doing what you got to do, man. That's all what it is, man. I don't mean no harm. I ain't trying to
You good, bro?
start no fight. You know what
you
I'm saying?
straight.
You
Yeah,
good?
it look I'm
You
45
welcome,
years
bro.
old. It look I'm 45 years old, man. I'm from Birmingham. I used to live in Atlanta for 11 years. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like I've been out there, man. I done did a whole lot of stuff, man.
I
You know
feel
what
you.
I'm
I feel you.
saying? Yeah.
It ain't nothing wrong with
But you
growth.
here right now. But you here right now. That's all that counts.
Ain't nothing wrong with growth and change. The sister who came off her mic. Go ahead, sister.
Yeah, I have a question. Why do we as BLK people constantly compare what's happening with these rich BLK people, right? At the end of the day, Papoose, what's his name? Dang, Stefan Diggs, Diddy, all of them, we get so invested as BLK people in what's happening in these people's lives. They ain't doing nothing for any of us, but we so invested. I was on a live and you got people arguing over what these people doing and what they not doing, like they know them. No, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. I'm like, do you know these? None of us know them, right? So I mean, they arguing like they know them. It's just wild to me, and it's like at the end of the day, they're not that's not our reality, right? That's their reality. That's what they're going through. And at the end of the day, they only show us what they want us to see, right? They put out what they want us to know. We don't really know the full picture. So for us to like compare what's happening in those situations to what's our real lives, I don't think that's fair. I don't even think that that's even right because we don't really know what's going on with these people because they tell us what they want us to see. But we as BLK people seem to be interested in that a lot, and I just don't understand that.
Well, I can help you understand a little bit.
Distraction.
No, I can help
It's
you
a
understand a little bit.
distraction.
I can help you understand what it is. That it's an example, right? It is an example. It's an example like how people live their life every day. And see, they only rich and they only got money and they in the publicity because like we see it. We on social media, we see what they got going on. It's an example. But at the same time, though, it's something that happens every day in everybody's lives. I know at least 3 dudes who going through the same thing. But they might be handled a little differently. But at the end of the day, all I can say is like, oh, how he handled it, that's the right way to handle it. I've seen a lot of dudes with a lot of money who ain't handling it the right way. But that dude who with her, that dude that's with her, he is definitely handled it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like, you know, I mean, you got a sister, you might have an auntie, you might have an uncle. They might be going through that same thing. You know what I'm saying? I could say I might be going through the same thing tonight. But guess what? I know that
You
at the end
sound
of the
like
day,
you sound like it. Did she hurt you?
oh no, baby, ain't nobody hurt me.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
Nah, ain't nobody hurt me, man. Nah, ain't nobody hurt me.
Yo, what up? What up, B?
Look, and I'm gonna say this. Like I literally, I swear to God, I just hopped on TikTok or whatever, and I ain't even really, I don't even really be on TikTok like that doing this. I just hopped on it, just speak my mind, cause I respect the brother, cause I see his content on Facebook. That's the first thing I said. Like I see him. You know what I'm saying? I like everything he posts. For the most part, I get the message that he's sending out here to the young brothers about trying not how to be played, not how to be on that type of time where, you know what I'm saying, you get took advantage of and you don't know your worth. Like I get all of that. You know what I mean? But all I'm saying is that, and my whole point is, don't extend yourself too far. You know what I'm saying? You gotta protect yourself. You know, and I just hope a lot of young brothers actually like understand that at the end of the day, because ain't nothing wrong with falling in love. Ain't nothing wrong with, like, you know, being 100 with somebody, but make sure that person down for you. And then guess what? A lot of times, if you ain't doing what a person want, then that's all a relationship was worth.
It's a
What
fact,
up,
bro.
G? Can I say something? Can I
Go
say
ahead,
something and get
Shot
up out of
Town. What's up, Shot Town? Go ahead. Javon, I appreciate that, brother. That was some good.
here?
Go ahead.
Man, the
Go ahead,
black
Shot Town.
community, the black community soft as hell. The black community done got soft and weak and punk as hell. Listen to how we speaking. We done went from James Brown to I'm black and I'm proud to talking about some BLK prep to the community. What type of lame ass shit is that? And we talking about black pride and black men and all this. We acknowledging each other as letters. BLK community. This ain't no dating site. That's what they say on what a dating site. We black and we proud. We black and we proud. Why are we acknowledging each other as BLK? That shit lame as hell.
Because we scared of TikTok. We don't want to go to TikTok jail.
TikTok.
Well, I go live and y'all can get me banned.
Well, you can.
No,
But
we just
that
messing
mean
with you,
y'all
man.
We don't
tripping.
want the whole page, man. We don't want that.
Nah, he
Okay, well,
okay.
okay.
He okay.
He's
He all
straight.
right.
Yeah, he's straight. I was feeling the same way too, Shy Time.
This shit done got lame as hell, boy. But man, hey, I'm looking for some sisters with some nappy Gucci. With some nappy coochie. I'm
Oh my
tired of
god.
this watered down black men and black women, man. Come on, man, with that lame. Don't y'all feel uncomfortable speaking like that?
Hey, bro, I
Don't y'all?
just got on TikTok, so I don't know nothing about it. I don't know nothing
Hold
about
on,
it.
let one of the sisters, respond. One of the sisters.
Go ahead, sis.
Can I just say something to Javon? I wanted to let him know that Stefan did post Cardi B on his Instagram page, just as a FYI. So just saying.
Somebody slapping ass.
What?
Somebody slapping ass to my dick.
Yeah, he slapped it, but I don't think it's gonna last. Honestly, I mean, I think he's just having fun, you know.
Yeah, I
But
just said that.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
just
it
said
never lasts. That's all he doing.
Yeah, I just said that. But see, y'all gotta understand that that's all was out there. If somebody went and literally made you, let me tell you something. A relationship is for women. It's not for men. We don't care nothing about being in a relationship. We don't care nothing about that. Like when a man actually give you, he going on dates, he going on trips, we doing all that. That's something we sacrificing because we want to make y'all happy. We want to see the smile on y'all face if somebody's willing to do it. But then when you turn around and when somebody literally then did all that, and I'm not gonna say that Offset or anybody in that situation like right for cheating or whatever he doing. I mean, like, what the problem is, brothers know how to hit it and quit it. They gotta have an affair. You ain't gonna have no affair, man. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you're gonna do, that's what you're gonna do. But at the same time, you gotta keep your house, happy if that's what you're gonna be doing. But at the same time, when you literally leave all of that and you go out here in these streets, that's what you're gonna be subjected to. You're gonna have to be on that type of time. You're gonna be with a dude who's gonna be looking at you like you're a piece of meat, and he gonna telling you like that. And that's what y'all want, I guess. You know, because you don't want nobody who's gonna put you first.
Well, not all of them is like that because we got some women on here that just negated that fact. They prove that. But I will say, in your defense, or just agreeing with you, brother Javon, you
That
are
time, where you
correct.
go, bro? Why you jump out? What happened? Where you go? Go ahead. Go ahead.
You
Finish
are
up.
correct in terms of the type of females that's doing that. And this is why I believe why it's being talked about, because it's a distraction. The bigger play needs to be well, all these other shows that we be watching and all this and this and that. Let me just say this real quick. For a brother like you, brother Javon, from just coming out the club and coming in, I know that feeling. You just coming in, you chilling out, boom, boom. You probably just kind of winding down and whatever. Boom, you catch the bigger play. The bigger play is the type of brother you when you run into him, you'll be on your way somewhere else and you stop and bubble. Hey man, what's going on, man? I like that little sweater, that jacket. Oh yeah, man, I got this with that. And then you in a whole hour conversation. Because that's the type of brother and type of people he is. He creates a space with energy where even me and you can have a disagreement, but we gonna keep it chill though. He know how to delegate and facilitate, and that's what we really need. Someone to be that mediator, because we all got good things to say. We all be right, you know. It's not like there's no right or wrong. It's just learning from one another. But we gotta differentiate what a NIGGA is and what a black man is. We gotta differentiate what a B boss is or whatever they call themselves and what a black woman is. We can't just throw everybody in the same box or paint them with the same brush because it's a disrespect. I can't throw bigger player in the same box with all these other content character creators and stuff, this and that, because he ain't just on TikTok. He on IG, he on Facebook, he got his podcast, he everywhere, just like other brothers like him. So we have to make sure when we approach approach each other. If I just came in on this podcast and I heard you talking like that, brother Javon, I would not automatically think, oh, this is an ignorant person. He from the hood. I wouldn't do that because I'm more intelligent. I got sense to hear a person out. But we got people, you got people, as soon as they come in here, they think you ignorant. So they already letting you, after 20, 30 seconds into your conversation, you already being disrespected because of what they think. It ain't what it is, it's what it look like or what it sound like. And if we could just give each other that patience, give them that respect. You got to give respect to get respect. You got to be a blessing to get a blessing. You got to give mercy to get mercy. You got to give forgiveness to get forgiveness. If we practice that same forgiveness and mercy that God gave us, how can we expect God to forgive us for any sin? I don't care if it was murder. Anything that you did, if we can just exercise that with one another, we can change and be in heaven overnight. But that's our biggest challenge, because whenever there's an indecent woman, there's an indecent man. It's just that simple.
So Kareem and Sarge, do you agree with Javon when he said relationships are for women? Men don't really care about a relationship.
The way he said it, but I understood the sentiment, meaning that when he said, when we first meet y'all, I can't say everything he said, but when we first meet y'all, to the effect of what he was saying, most men, when we take you out on the dates, like he said, it's not just to make you happy. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest. When we first meet you, the first day, wherever the space, whether it was on an app or in person at the laundromat or the shopping mall, whatever, the first day we seen you, when you was looking good with that sundress and that perfume and them pretty toes, and that little fatty fat was shaking when we had to double back and look at you again. When we said, hey, what's up? And you smiled and talked to us, that was the day we wanted you physically. We did all that other stuff that Javon was talking about because we knew we had to be a good and be, because we was in that honeymoon phase. After the honeymoon phase, we trying to figure out what kind of woman you is from the spiritual. Now we want to see all that spiritual and CMOS type stuff that you talking about, all that spiritual manifestations and what kind of woman. Then we see that because a man typically don't, when he meet a woman, we don't get with you for what your mind is and what your spirit is. We get with you based on your physical genetic makeup. That's the first thing we see. Then after we got with that, then we get to see your mind. Then we get to see your heart. Where as far as a woman, y'all go by what we doing. What kind of future we gonna have? Is you gonna be able to take care of a woman like me? If I'll be able to give you, if I commit to you and submit to you and do this and this and that, is you gonna have all the food in the medicine cabinet? Is you gonna have everything for me to do to be wait on you hand and foot like you say you do? If you can't do that, then you should be in my face talking to me, man. So when he's saying this, the relationship is not for us in a sense for all the bleed things that y'all like, all the the Disney World fantasy, because y'all want that Disney World, that Disney Princess Snow White type of moment. It's that Cinderella moment. Y'all stay in that head space when it comes to your man. We don't care for all that. We don't attach our emotions to even X. Y'all do. We can have X with multiple women. This is why we had concubines and many wives. Because we have the ability to not attach emotion to it. Y'all do. That's why when y'all cheat, it's more deep than us cheating, because you didn't already detach your heart from the man that was your husband or your longtime boyfriend, and you attached it to another man. Most women, even when they are prostitute, excuse my language, even when they are streetwalker, most women can't even have X without attaching their emotions to it. That's why the streetwalkers stay on some substance, so they can't deal with that reality. Even when they ain't doing in the topless bars, they stay on some type of substance because they don't really want to see what they doing and want to be in that head space. They only feel it when they come down from that high. So we have to understand the woman is powerful in her superpower and the man is powerful in his superpower. But a man get his superpower from the woman lifting him up and giving him that honor, not just in the house, but in the public. Because that's how the world go judge us, particularly a black man. If a black man got a woman that's looking up to him, and every time he get ready to say something, and the way how she look up to him, she look up to him like he's everything, like he's the second thing next to God. The world is going to respect him differently than a woman coming out here half naked, talking to her man, calling him all kind of bees and arguing, just embarrassing him. It's a thing that's called I land with this. Whoever heard this? Somebody answer me this. Whoever heard of this term? Ethnic judging. Have you ever been in a place and you with your significant other with someone and someone that look like you come in and act a dang on fool and you feel embarrassed for them? Have you ever been in that situation? Anybody?
Everybody.
Okay, so if I'm walking, if me and my wife walking into, it could be an event, it could be any place. If I see a couple that looks like me and her, I'm already embarrassed because I'm looking how they doing one another. It don't even matter who started it. But I'm looking at the man, because if the man can't walk away, then 9 times out of 10, she's with a feminine man. She with a man that's in his emotions, because a man don't stand there and argue. Our job is to diffuse. If we can't say, babe, you know what, you right. Don't trip, you right. And just let her stay and do what she do, because you can't argue by yourself. But it's when we start adding fuel to the fire. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. You.
He didn't answer the question. He didn't answer the question, Kareem. You said
Hold on. He said all that, didn't answer the question.
The question was, do you agree with what Dervon said? I asked you and Sarge. I don't think Chi-Town was up yet.
I did agree. I said I do agree. I just didn't agree the way he said it, because it caused for us to ask questions. But I do agree with him on the sentiment that he was saying it in.
Okay, so you agree that men don't want relationships.
I'm not saying they don't want relationships.
But that's what I said. That's what I'm asking.
Okay, well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't think men are in it is high up for the relationship as like a woman. We're not into that part as like a woman is.
No, that's not what I
If that makes sense.
I didn't ask all of that. I just asked about Dervon's specific statement that men don't want relationships.
Well, let Javon.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree. If you ask me like that, then I'm gonna have to say no. I'm gonna have to respectfully say no. I don't agree with that.
Ain't gonna problem cleaning that up, brother.
Yeah, because I think it might be a misunderstanding there. Go ahead, brother. Try to repeat what you said before.
So what I'm saying is that this. When the man first meet a woman, like if I'm out somewhere and I see somebody, like she can look nice, but it's only a certain type of woman that up to whatever your personal standards are that you're willing to do that with. You're not gonna meet nobody and just be like, oh, I'm willing to go the whole long yard with her. Like not just anybody. It's certain people. But at the same time, you're not gonna feel like that about everybody, you meet. So that's not gonna be what we want to do. That's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? So you might meet a man who, he might want to get to know you, but he might not like you like that. A lot of women overplay their hand. They overplay their hand. They thinking the dude like them more than they really do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't looking at you like that. Now they might like you.
Agree with that.
They might like you after getting to know you a little longer, but that ain't the guaranteed deal off the top when the dude meets you. So if a dude give you that, y'all need to be grateful for that if he want to, because he ain't got to do that, and everybody ain't trying to do that.
Right, I get exactly what you're saying, but when you said that men don't want relationships,
I just said it.
now I'm not understanding. It's like
I
you're
just said it.
but I'm not understanding what you're saying now.
I just said it. Like I literally just said it.
Understand what you're saying, Miss Pickney, because if you're saying it in a sense where women control access to X and birth, men control access to marriage and relationship. So if you're asking me that question on that, in that sense, then I would disagree on based on what you're asking me on what Javon said. But if you're asking me is we just completely we don't care about relationships. No, obviously we do. Because he just said the reason why we buy these things because to make y'all happy. So obviously he do care for the relationship. What he's saying is we're just not over the top with it. If what I understand, he's saying we're not over the top about the relationship like y'all are.
If I meet a woman tonight, right, and I get her number, and we have a good conversation, trust me and believe, the first thing I'm thinking in my head is like, oh, I'm ready to be with her for the rest of my life. I'm finna try to talk her, persuade her for her to be with me. Like, no, like I'm know what I'm saying. I'm just saying that's just not the goal off the top. Like, and it probably won't be until she do something.
Right.
Until
but you ain't saying nothing slick. Ain't no woman thinking like that.
It ain't about what a woman think. I'm talking about how I'm thinking.
I'm talking about a man. You gotta be a plumb goofy to meet a woman in a first second. You talking about, man? Ain't no motherfucker thinking like that. I'm trying to get to know your name.
That's what he's saying.
There's a lot of dudes. There's a lot of dudes that be doing that shit like a lot of.
Shot-Town, that's what he's saying.
That's what we're trying to get through to, to try to
Shot-Town, that's what Javon's saying. Javon said the same thing you just said. He's saying ain't no man go get with a woman and just be head over heels and be like, oh, I want to be with her.
He talking about a certain type.
He's saying a certain type.
Let's go ahead, Shot-Town. Then we wanted to let the sister speak after you because she was trying to get in. Go ahead.
I gotta talk about what the brother up there was talking about men don't get emotional. Yeah, they do. I done got emotional. I done got some good cat, and that mother made me cry in the bathroom. I don't know what he talking about. That's a lie. I done definitely got some good cat in the bathroom.
We got a firecracker in the joint.
Look here, man. I'm not gonna meet a woman if feel that strong about her until she do something to show that she's actually solid. You know what I'm saying? She do something to show that she's solid, then I'm fucking with her. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's consistency. It's the same thing. Like the pussy could be good. It's all good.
You gotta watch.
That could be good. But guess what, though, brother? But guess what, though, brother? I'm damn ashamed to be crying in the bathroom. I ain't been
crying in the bathroom.
I ain't be doing that now.
I was on my last $20. I'm thinking shop out her sandwich and put some gas money in my car.
Oh, so you must pay for it or something.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
But I just said that.
Let's let the sister speak.
Go ahead, sisters. We gotta let the sisters in.
I definitely can understand where you're coming from. I think women, for generations have been spoon-fed this idea of love, and then this with like Valentine's Day and all of these extra ways and things that society and consumerism puts on men to participate in showing these great gestures and acts of love, even more so with like the rise of social media. And what do women do? Women like to compete. Let's keep it real. We want to post, look what my man did for me, and that's fine. But and then other women want to participate in that competition. So there's a lot of underlying things that go on with that. I agree, but I do think that we have a fundamental misunderstanding of what love is.
Right.
Love is not just a feeling, it's
Right.
chemical, it can be hormonal, it can be all kinds of things, but love is the intersection of action and connection. That's what it is. It's not just a
That part.
feeling. It's
There you
what
go, sister.
people show you and then what they do in the nuance, right? And that's where
Right. Right.
discernment comes in. You have to be able to discern who is worth your time and who is worth, and men have to decide, not only are you worth my time, but are you worth my resources as well, that I busted my ass to get and I slave for. So I can understand the sentiment, but I don't like the idea of, like, I wouldn't tell my son, like, I would encourage my son to practice sexual discipline and to not just sleep around, because not every woman deserves access to my son, you know? And that's how I want to raise my son. Like, sexual like exclusivity and discipline isn't just for women, and it can be applicable for men in some ways that are beneficial, not always. We all know men have inclinations as well. um but I do think that relationships can be very, very much beneficial for men. So I guess at the first I misunderstood what he was trying to say, but now I get it.
I mean, it's only good for men if that's actually somebody that you want. But a lot of times, like, it's a lot of guys that are not women up, and they didn't did something they had no business doing, and they in a situation and they feel like they can't get out, and that's where, like, a lot of situations. Listen. I'm 45 years old, man. I swear to God, like, it's a lot of people I know who had kids at an early age, and they live their life. You know what I'm saying? Being married early and having kids early and doing all that stuff. They ain't get a chance to go to college. They ain't get a chance to even enjoy their 20s. They ain't did nothing. But now, since they in their 40s, they free now. You know what I'm saying? But they never got a chance to live when we was really, really young. Now they doing it. They might be in a better position. But at the end of the day, like, I done did all that early. You know what I'm saying? So now, like, I wouldn't mind meeting somebody who, I feel like I can vibe with, I can do that type of stuff with, but at the same time, like, it just ain't a guarantee. You know what I'm saying? Even though you want that still, it's like, I mean, a lot of people, man, it just ain't what it is right now. A lot of time that went by, and now they want to live their 20s out now. Like, you like 45 years old, 46, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, like, it's over with. You're not that person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's over with, man. So what I'm saying is that if it's a man that meets you and he want to give you something, he want to actually show you, want to be with you, and then you want to say something like you deserve more, or, it's like, I feel like I should have this, have that. But this man, like, it just ain't, stuff ain't balancing out. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is, man.
Man, things ain't that. Love ain't that complicated. If he pumping your gas, you give it some. You give it some. You can match that word gas, and then y'all okay. It ain't that complicated. A lot of you women gonna be cat women because y'all so complaining about this and that, and a lot of you men gonna be salt and pepper guys, and then with your red hats and your gator boots on and your Al Green. You know what I mean?
Shut up! Stop, bro.
I mean, you either gonna go.
Come on, man.
You either
Come
gonna go.
on, man.
You either gonna go either. You either gonna go either or you gonna get what you want. You gonna go out there and get. It's just either. It's either one.
It's not complicated. Go find your person. Go out there and stop being so effing depressing and take care of yourself. Clean your underwear, clean your balls. Ladies, take care of your vaginas. Make sure your hair and your nails is done. And you're going to get what you want. You ain't got to have a bachelor's degree to get a good man. A man don't have to have a bachelor's degree to get a good woman. I'm telling a woman right now, you want a good man? Go to any popular gas station at 1 o'clock at break time for any construction site. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to find you a good man, hardworking man that just want to be doing good in life. Stop. You ain't going to find you a Kobe Bryant or whatever. It just ain't. It's not that hard. Everybody out here acting like it's not hard. You just not giving the guys a chance because you thinking maybe I can just hold out just a couple more years.
Yeah.
And now you're thinking, oh, I done hold out a couple more years. And now your time, now you're clocking.
Yeah.
It ain't that hard. It's not. It's not that hard. It's just go and get what you want.
Man, it comes down to the person liking the person enough. If they don't like the person enough, then they don't want to do it.
I'm telling you.
Be very careful. Women have to be very careful because, like I said in the beginning, they have a beauty clock and a birth clock. And they can't just pick off a man off the shelf and dust him off and say, okay, I'm ready to be for a relationship, because that's not their lane. The man controls the relationship access to that in marriage. We're the ones that's getting on the one knee if we want to marry them, and they taking our last name. So a woman in general has to move with discernment, but she has to move and delegate her time wisely, because by the time she get in her 30s, she already set in her ways mentally and emotionally. That don't mean that she can't change, but most women is pretty much set in their ways. And based on how this structure, family structure, how everything is set up, they done already gave all this power and prestige and put them in positions of authority and things. And it's like when you get that baby, that sucker, that first time, when that sucker start getting good, when the saliva start building up around in the mouth and the juices, as soon as you pull that sucker out that baby mouth, that baby start crying and acting a fool. It's the same thing with the females. I'm not saying they no babies and nothing like that. It's just they got a taste of power and of authority. And that's why it's hard for certain women after walking with scarcity, fear, and lack. As soon as they get in a relationship, they want to be feminine, but they don't know how to turn that masculine mentality out because they've been raised and been conditioned so long, they don't even know they being masculine. And so when they lose the man, because it's easy for a woman to get the man, but can you keep him? And the only way you keep a man is by being a wife. A wife is not a wife because she got married and had a big wedding and he put the ring on it. No, she was raised to serve. She was raised that way by her mama, her daddy, or the women in her family. When she got older, when the man seen her in the public, he said, she a wife. I want to make her my wife. That's the whole understanding that I get, that when a man find a wife, he find a good thing and find favor in God. That's the only way a man know he doing good in life is when he got a good woman. Even the man that's not married, because I know some men don't believe in that, especially with this temperature going on in today's time. But even if you just got a good woman, you domesticated and you common law married, y'all been together for 5, 6, 7, whatever, how many years. At some point, when you look at that relationship, I'm looking at the elasticity of the relationship. Is it consistent? Because we're not going to get along. It's not going to be peaches and creams. But if he got a woman that when he look at her and be like, okay, I heard you. And he ain't saying that, but he just looking at her and she see the look. And she just kind of smirk and don't say nothing and bag up and don't even say nothing. Because a real good woman that trusts her man, she leaves him with his dignity and his integrity intact. She's not going to talk down to him because she know her mouth and her words is powerful. Just like we got strong muscles, their mouths is powerful. We not going to over talk and out argue a woman. So we have to respect the fact that, yes, we got the power of relationship, but like Brother Jervon said, ain't no man just gonna go into it like that. And most women, the woman, I ain't gonna say most because I want to keep saying that, but a lot of women that's out there that's moving around thinking they're the prize and the catch. those are the ones that tend to always complain, use sign language, shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right type of conversation. They always over talking. They not sounding like sister neighbor and sister they call them Hickme. As a matter of fact, they go get into arguments with sisters like Melanie and them because they don't want to hear that. And these are only sisters that can really check them. We can't check them, even though we saying some good stuff right now. The brother that's running this podcast, this show right now, he can't even talk to them because they not listening to us. They don't respect black authority when it comes from a man's point of view. So they need a sister to tell them that understand us because they come from us. They the only ones. That's why I say I like this panel, because I ain't really never been around sisters that I just met with this mindset. But that should tell every black man, they out there, like Brother Chi-Town said, it ain't hard. All you got to do is just stop making it complicated. But when we put these vices, money, people, persons, and places and things before what's based on principle and necessary and duty, that's when we start going left, and that's why we're not getting the results. You got to do something different to get a different result. I land right there.
Did that brother just say elasticity? What the hell?
Shot, leave me alone, man. You can correct him, but leave me alone, bro.
That brother said elasticity. Elasticity.
Somebody just came in the room. Yoruba Gold, you want to speak? You can speak. Outside, you go ahead.
These men are toxic.
I just wanted to say,
You guys.
when one thing that you were saying about we do have superpowers, men, and you hit your nail on the head, Carrie, about how we can turn it on like a light switch, on and off. I can love you and I can cut it off. But I think one thing I seen my mom, she has a superpower. And women, I'm not telling y'all to go through this by no means, but I'm going to explain a little story to y'all. And I have a sister that is the same age as my oldest brother. I shouldn't have to go no farther than that, right? Dad made a mistake.
Yeah, we understand.
Okay, right now I seen my mom go through that. Not only that, my mom stood behind my father and got full custody of my sister and brought her to the house. And she raised her right with me.
Wow.
And do you know what I sat and watched? I seen a superpower. My mama never opened her mouth, but she whooped my dad's ass. You understand me? To the point now,
yes, sir.
All he does is praise the ground that she walks on. She never had to say a damn thing about what happened, but he knows. Yep. That's the power that women have. You guys have the superpower. Yes. It's in your beauty. It's in your essence. You don't have to yell and bark at us because we don't hear that shit. But if you bat your eyes the right way, stick your lip out a little bit, you'd be surprised how much farther that'll go than you over there yelling and cursing at a man.
Hold on. You guys are toxic. I don't know what it is.
Go ahead, sister. Go ahead.
Sis, don't do that. Don't do that, sis.
Hold on.
You said you guys are
please
toxic?
don't. Chill. Don't try to familiarize yourself with me. Okay. I don't know you guys. We're not friends. We don't agree on the same things. So don't try to familiarize yourself. I'm not your sister. I'm not your queen. I'm none of that. Okay? Please.
You just called me toxic, so I'm just curious as to why I'm toxic.
Excuse me. I said you guys. Control your emotions. I am not here to babysit.
Let her say what she got to say, brother.
I did not mention your name. Okay? I don't know you. I don't respect you, in case you need to get that in your head. I don't know you. I don't respect you, okay? We're just going to be courteous towards one another. I'm going to be courteous towards you, give you courtesy. Cordial. You give me courtesy in return. I don't know you. I'm not playing this whole male-female game where you think that you're above me or something like that. Please.
No one said that.
Okay.
But you're speaking to the situation.
They are below you.
You're being disrespectful. But you're being. I'm trying to let you go.
Now
but you can't disrespect.
Would you let me finish
my statement?
I'm not here to go to war with you.
Okay, then speak to the topic and not their character.
Okay, then I'm going to speak, and please, you know what? I'll just get off the stage. It's okay. You guys have your stage.
Go ahead, speak.
No, because what it is I'm not gonna be protecting myself from men, and then also got to defend myself from
other women. Like
Go ahead.
nobody here came with
Act
a
like a
team of
victim.
Started
fighters.
it. You
Talk.
came in
You're
So
not a
you came in
let me say what
victim.
I gotta say.
You
Let me
came
say
in
what I gotta
aggressive,
say.
honey. You came
Let
in
me say what I
aggressive.
gotta say. I simply said, from what I've heard, y'all are toxic. Just seems like this men want women that are gonna like, let them do whatever they want to do. And then when they're done doing it and they finally get the aha moment and the light comes on, then they're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's your superpower because you let me get away with all this stuff. And now that I finally got my life together and I realized that I hurt you, forgive me. And you forgive them. And they're like, yay, that's the superpower of women. They stay when, things are bad and they wait till you get on to the right mindset and then you pray for them. Oh my gosh, women are so spiritual. Like somebody was giving an example of how like his mom literally adopted his sister and raised her and that's her superpower. That's not no superpower. That was, in my opinion,
Easy,
a
sweetheart. You
woman.
talking about my mama
In
now?
in my opinion, that example I didn't even know was you. Notice I did
Well,
not
I'm just
mention
letting
you.
you know
I said
it's my mother.
somebody was saying control your emotions. You're supposed to have less emotions than I do. I'm supposed to be the one with the emotions on here. Control
Stop.
yourself.
Stop. Don't
What are
come
we
here,
talking
So
Mama.
about?
all I'm simply saying
Do
I don't
is
know
not
what
attack
this
his
coming from.
character.
that
But
just
we
sounded
always
like
gotta
a
have one.
story. That sounded like a story where a woman was willing to take, okay? And then finally, the man finally saw the light and he's like, oh my gosh, I, my wife was so loyal. She was there for me. She put up with so much. And I think that's what love is to a lot of these men, is your ability to take. It's your
So what's
ability
your point?
to put up with so
So what's
much.
your point? So
That
your
is
point
what
is that
love
What
men
is
makes you
to a
came
lot
men
up
of
are
here to try to
people.
toxic?
bash somebody, man? Because I
Because
haven't heard anything.
a lot of these men will not put up with the nonsense they want you to put up with.
They're
That's why
not
if you cheat on
supposed
a
to.
man, he's gonna leave you. Okay? If you disrespect him in any
Supposed
way,
As he
shape, or
to.
should.
form,
He's supposed to.
ma'am,
Hey,
I
ladies and
understand that you
gentlemen on
love
the
the
panel, didn't
males.
I say
Could
about
you
the
at least
story? I
let me
said,
finish my
please,
Hold
talking
on,
ladies,
point,
do
Sergeant.
ma'am?
You're
not do
long
this. No,
winded
because you're
and
talking
you're
about
you
me,
don't know
and
what
I
You
you're
know
told
what?
talking
these
about.
ladies, I said,
You're doing
everybody,
Thank you, bigger
personal
I'm
player,
not
for
attacks.
letting
telling
me
Sergeant,
you,
come
let the
on the
all
lady
you
stage.
ladies,
finish.
to
I'm gonna
do
leave you a
this.
stage
That's
Yo,
now,
not what I
Bye.
can
brother.
You
you
said.
can
let
I
leave,
Anthony
can't
Brother
stand
speak?
it.
Sergeant, Brother
I,
You
Sergeant,
gonna
I
be
never
okay?
once
sisters,
said
let
that
the
the
sisters
women
Y'all
should
handle it.
do
gonna be
this. I
okay?
made it a point to say
Hey,
that
Yoruba,
women, I'm
please
not saying that
finish.
you
Hold
should
on,
do
don't leave.
this.
Oh, she left.
She left.
I really
My
Imagine
bad,
wanted
going
to
man.
into
deal
a
with.
room.
I wanted
Imagine
to
going
My
hear
into a
bad,
room.
man. Like, what the
You
fuck?
ain't say nothing wrong. You ain't say nothing wrong, Brother Sergeant. We already know what the problem was.
Like I said
Imagine
that
going in.
I
Wow,
didn't think all
wow.
the women. I don't think y'all should go through that. What I'm saying is my mother is a strong woman. She went through some shit. My dad,
That
I
she
still
did.
look at my dad a certain type of way for the shit that he put my mom's through. But he's still my father, nevertheless. And I've seen him change and turn around, and she was a part of that. That's what I was
Yeah,
bringing
of
up.
course she was.
I don't know where she was coming from, and I'm sorry if I did
That's
something
what
wrong.
you call,
You
Brother
didn't do
Sergeant. This
anything
is
wrong.
what you
Don't
call. You didn't
apologize to
do.
her.
Go
She
ahead,
ain't worth
Melanie.
she
Go
ain't
ahead.
worth you apologizing to. If she wanted to speak to like like what you said in general, she could have did that. Where she went wrong and I couldn't allow her to, or I interrupted her or couldn't allow her to finish is you don't get to attack his personal story. His personal story is not what we're talking about. Now, if you want to talk in generality based off what he said, that's one thing. But you can't sit up here and attack your character or the character of your mother. I think your mother is an extraordinary woman for that. Your mother showed what it means to be resilient, what it means to still stand behind something, that a place you want to be. She gave your father grace. She understood your dad made a mistake and didn't ruin the household and him behind it. That was her choice. And through that he learned to love her better. How you gonna sit up here and say something about that's how you teach a man how to love you right. She didn't just run off and run off to another man who could possibly end up doing the same thing. This is her choice to stick it out. She chose to stand behind that. How are you villainizing his father and disgracing her because what she stood behind? I'm so tired of you women to where if we not all saying what you want to hear, you want to attack us. I'm gonna interrupt y'all every time. That was
So here's the
ridiculous.
thing. I've been listening, right?
Sister, y'all better
As I
not
was
touch
getting
her.
ready for bed. Hang on, Karim. And what has made this platform enjoyable is the ability for people to come up here and be able to share various views without being interrupted, without being, insulted or disrespected. And that's why I wanted her to finish her point, so to see if there was any validation in her point. As for Sarge has been here a few times. He's seen how this place is ran. When you put your personal story out here, people will talk about it, right? So I would just say be careful what you put out here. And also, let's just let people just finish their thought, even though we don't agree. There's a lot of people who have come up here and they will say some stuff I don't agree with it, but I just listen, because this space is different, and that's why I keep coming back. It's really not the typical TikTok we know, and all of you can recognize the good energy when you see one. So
Wait, I want to
I'm just
rebuttal what you're saying. I want to rebuttal
He
just
says,
really quickly. Just really
hang on,
quickly.
Melanin.
I just
Melanin,
want to just really quickly. Just
hang on just a second, please.
but
Please,
I've been
Melanin.
really silent for the most part.
Just one second. Okay. Well, you're gonna have to rebuttal with yourself because I'm going to bed. Host, I have a meeting tomorrow morning. It's an important meeting,
All right.
and I
Good
can't
luck.
stay longer than I usually do. So I
Okay,
hope you
thank you
guys have
so
a good
much.
show tonight.
Good luck on your meeting. I've been going for like
appreciate
8 hours, so they're gonna put me
I
off in the
know.
anyway. Thank you,
I
Travis.
know, and that
Appreciate
will
you.
give Yoruba a spot to come and finish her point if she
I'll be
wants
back
to.
tomorrow.
All right. Good
Have
night,
a great day.
everyone.
Again, another great conversation, another great dialogue. Off the hook, off the chain, off the charts. What did you take from it? Did you learn anything from it? Do you wish you was there to give your insight? Well, if you did, and if you did, and if you do, pull up. We're going live on the TikTok every day at 5 p.m. and every night at 9:30. Facts. Now I need you to pay attention.
What does it look like for a woman to be a helpmate?
Oh, helpmate.
Yeah.
Man, so critical to, especially to a man that's going someplace. And that's going someplace has to have a helpmate. It's hard for him to do it by himself because he gets lonely. And that's when the enemy can come in and trip you up. So a helpmate is critical.
Critical. A helpmate or a helpmeet? Or is it one and the same? Pay attention. If you pay attention, it will add value to your life. And when you choose that perfect somebody or that special someone that you're supposed to grow with and be intricate and intimate with, it'll be very valuable to the success of that union. Okay? Is that facts or fiction?
All right, everybody. I just want to get on here and show you guys something that I've seen that women can't do, especially my wife.
What? What? Is it a sport? Something basketball related? Say it then. What? You think I can't make a three-pointer? You think I can't dunk? Because you can't either. So is it something that you can do that I can't do? That? What? Is it something related to sports? Wrestling? What? You just gonna stand there and be quiet for nothing? Breathe heavy? What? Are you just trying to stare them down? Babe, I'm tired of standing here. You wasted my time. I could be doing a bunch of other things right now. Say what you gonna say. You just scared to say something because you know I can do it. Say it! So we just gonna stand here and look at the camera. What can you do that I can't do? What can you do that I can't do? Sleep in?
Classic. That's classic. Is that fact or fiction? Good night.
Pastors lying to the public, they ain't got the truth in them. Lights out, gas off, bootless, this city pimping. Blocks on fire cause the homeowners broke as fuck. Taxes up, water bill higher than a semi truck. It's a bigger play, a bigger play. Death before dishonor is the only way. Yeah, I tried to follow but they led astray. Sorry but not sorry, can't trust what they say.